I pressed the button.
The button has been pressed.
Should I switch screens to the actual
Hello,
screen
hello,
now?
everybody.
Yes, Sally.
Yes.
Do the thing.
I did the thing.
We are live.
There are no technical fatalities.
Please, no fatalities.
Hello,
Dude, my scene transition
everyone.
thing just glitched.
And welcome to this 18th session of In the Demon's Grasp.
Woo!
We think everything's okay. Nihon may join us later. He seems to be running a little bit late. We're not sure.
We've
At
heard
least he's
nothing
home
from him.
safe and sound as far as we know.
Yes, I seen him stream earlier this week.
So when last we left off, the group had waylaid the Green Hags, been rewarded by the Dryads, or at least thanked, went and spoke with Grandfather Oak. Grandfather Oak was very apologetic and gave a staff of the flowers, a flower staff, which was traded to Kalina for some boots.
And I've been snuggling it this whole time.
And then the group had gone to work
Nestle,
on
nestle.
meeting Banrion and happened upon the clock tower that they were told before would lead towards where Banrion was staying. So that's where we shall begin. Okay?
I lost the tab within the Demon's Grasp. Give me a second.
Yeah, I accidentally closed out my character sheet in the process of trying to fix my stream.
I was like, wait. I was like, there's a character sheet. Where's the map?
Oops.
I think we're having all kinds of trouble today. All kinds.
Dude, I don't know if you guys heard, but as soon as I switched over from the starting soon to like the actual game thing, my scene transition decided to go off twice. So I was like, up.
Okay.
Today's gonna be a day.
So everyone good?
Yep.
Yes.
No, OBS is poop.
OBS is still poop, yes, but we're gonna continue on anyway.
Okay.
And hope and pray for the best.
So the trees
pray to the
part
bacon
reveal
gods.
the ruins of an ancient city.
Bacon.
All that remains are worn flagstones covered in moss and lichen, toppled blocks of weathered stone, and a former tower, fallen in outline, stretched across a very wide chasm. The chasm fully encircles an isolated plateau of rock at its center, so this chasm continues off the map and goes way around like this raised platform in the middle.
So it's like an island in the center of a chasm.
Right.
It's a moat without water.
Or at least
Can
it
we
looks that way
see
from
can
here.
we see a bottom in the chasm from where we are?
You can. It looks like
Can
it's
or
about,
can't?
Can. It
Can.
looks like it's about 100 to 150 feet down.
Okay.
The chasm fully encircles the plateau. More ruins rise atop this plateau, including sections of walls that are held together by roots of stunted trees. And on the near side of the chasm where you all are, the base, which is to your left of the fallen tower, can be seen. It's been reduced to broken sections of its
Okay,
former
so this
ground
is the
floor.
base of the clock tower down here.
Yes.
Okay.
I like how everyone pointed at it. In the middle of the plateau, in the distance, you see what appears to be a structure that looks like a temple of some sort. Maybe it's hard to tell from here, especially with all the trees and everything that has grown up and over, but you do see smoke rising from it, not an alarming amount, but you do see, more like a campfire type of amount of smoke, and not, the building is on fire type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's off to the west of the map here.
Okay, so beyond our sight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the base over here, is there like bits of is there walls on it, or is it just like open?
There's walls there where the clock tower did, so if you want to get a better look, you'll have to go inside, look around. Of course, you can see the openings and everything.
Okay.
Can I look around up here?
You certainly can. So
I
you
see
look
anything?
around, those are low walls that seem to have been weathered with age and overgrowth, things like that. The small round thing you see there looks to be a basin of some type, maybe to hold water or like a bird fountain. It's hard to tell because it has been cracked and brought into ruin.
Can I attempt to cast mending on this
You
over
certainly
time?
can.
Okay.
The range is 1 foot. The crack. Let's see. Can you roll 100 for me? D100.
D100. Okay.
Yeah.
33.
Yeah. One of the cracks on that to put the part together, it's definitely less than a foot. So if you want to cast mending on it, you can. All the parts are there, so you can definitely work on mending it if you want to.
Sure. I'll spend a minute to mend that while they're looking around.
Okay.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna have Princess fly into the chasm, and fly like 40 feet down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna switch my eyesight into it and gonna look to see what's down there. He has
You
120
see
foot dark
bits and
vision.
pieces of rubble. You definitely see what appears to be some parts of the clock tower structure that is up above. Looking up into the structure from below, you can see that there are holes on that side of the clock tower, just like there are on top here. The clock tower itself, while it is mostly hollow looking, it does have several mechanisms inside of it, of course, with it being what it is, several pipes and things like that are run up through it. So you can go inside of it if you work for it. It is fittable. As far as down in the chasm, there's nothing major of note down there other than it's like an empty moat that is ginormously deep.
Okay. No signs of any creatures or anything.
No, none that you can see.
Okay. I'll have Princess join me back up here.
Anyone else want to check anything out? Kalina, Phelan?
Sorry, I'm semi-distracted by a very confusing consigner.
Okay, Naya, you finish your mending spell on the basin there. It becomes whole. Unfortunately, I don't have a thing to fix it on the map so that it looks
That's fine.
whole. It's made of nice stone and a little bit of brass around it. It is perfectly circular, like a semicircle in the middle of it. And cast mending on it, it seals it and everything else. And as far as you can tell, it appears to be a basin of some type. It's
Good
hard to
enough.
tell what it once held, but you can see across the way, there are others that are littered about.
Okay.
Anything of interest in this?
Okay. So
bit over
Midnight
here?
steps through the wall. Midnight, in front of you, along the wall, you see a really weird looking contraption. It has several pipes that are going up the wall into what apparently used to be the clock tower that are now snapped and cracked.
Mhm.
On this contraption, you see what appears to be something that resembles a hand that is colored in blue that looks like blue crystal. And you see a very large red button, something that
Mm,
appears to be a dial,
dial.
and two arrows, one pointing left and one pointing right. All of them
Mm,
appear to be made of some gem type of some sort. There are various pieces of copper twine that appear to be sticking out of the top of the machine where it once connected to the clock tower. Uh, so it's definitely an odd looking thing there.
I'm gonna place my hand on the handprint.
Okay, Midnight places her hand on the handprint. All the gems light up on the buttons.
Ooh.
Can I pour one of the vials of tea into the basin?
You certainly can.
Sure, I'm gonna do that.
You pour the vial of tea into the basin. Pouring the vial of tea into the basin actually washes some of the dust and debris off to the side, and at the bottom of the basin, you can see what appears to be a blue gem type thing.
Okay.
It's very circular and it juts up from the basin instead of being flush with the bottom of it.
Midnight.
Nothing else seems to happen though. However, while you're doing that, it suddenly lights up for some reason.
Oh.
Guys, there's a blue gem in this basin and it just lit up. I'm gonna call that out across the clearing.
We're touching buttons over here.
Okay, I
There's
think
a
you lit
big
it
red
up.
one. We're about to press it.
Can you stop pressing the blue one?
I take my hand off.
All the lights go out.
Okay, yeah,
Including the one Naya's
that's what was
looking at.
doing it.
Put my hand back on.
The light comes back.
I'm gonna press the button unless someone stops me.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is Midnight's territory right here. Fuck around with it until something else happens. That's why I'm just like,
Well,
let me.
and Naya's looking around. She wants to try to count basins, from what
I
she can
press the
see.
button.
Midnight
she
is
knows
our
there's
for
one here.
science.
Red button.
Okay, let me take care of Naya here first.
Okay.
I believe you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basins. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah,
1,
5.
2, 3.
That one is mostly intact.
4, 5.
Do I see anything when I peer down into that one?
What's this?
Dirt and debris.
This isn't basin?
No,
Can I
Okay.
pour some of my normal water into that?
you certainly can. You pour some water into it, and it adjusts some of the dirt and debris at the bottom. And there too, you can also see a brightly lit blue gem.
Also blue. Okay. I'm gonna rejoin the group.
So Midnight pushes the button.
Mm-hmm. While my hand's still on the blue.
Uh-huh. You push the button, the big red button, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay. You push the big red button.
I push it again.
You push the big red button again.
I push it 4 more times.
You push it 4 more times.
Rats.
The tree shakes.
One shake or two.
What other buttons were there?
There's the big red button. Then there's 2 smaller ones that appear to be triangles.
Left and
one is
right?
pointing leftwards, one is pointing rightwards. And then there's what appears to be a gauge of some type that has a needle of some type that seems to be pointing straight up. There are several ticks inside of it. You know, it looks very kind of clockish like, but it doesn't have any numbers or anything on it.
I push the right button.
Okay, the needle on the gauge ticks to the right 4 marks.
It's a magical clock tower.
I push the red button.
The ground shakes. Everybody,
Naya's gonna jump back into the tree line.
I need everybody to please make a dex save for me.
Okay, give me 1 second.
I'm sorry, I was stuffing my face with a cookie. What save are we doing?
Dex,
Dexterity.
but give me a second. I'm gonna check something from Nihon's character sheet.
Okay.
Wait, is that not wrong? My saving throw isn't working.
It should be.
Here we go again. It's the time of the hour where Allie gets nothing but poop rolls on things she has ungodly bonuses
I rolled
on.
for Colfax.
Okay.
Again, if your saves aren't working on Beyond, hold Alt and click on your character or double click on your character in Roll20. And it should open the character sheet that I set up, and you can click the word for strength, dexterity, blah, blah, blah under saving throws, and it will roll a save for your character.
So, question:
Mm-hmm.
Have I potentially? Oh, have I failed my dex?
Probably several of us have failed.
You rolled a
If-
5.
Are you willing to tell what we need to beat?
No.
Hmm.
We don't get to know, but typically anything below a 10's not great.
If there's something you want to do to make an adjustment to it, then you'll need to do
Yeah,
so
you
now,
have to
unless you
call before,
specifically have
unless it says
something.
after roll. Yeah.
After a fail is my thing. So
Okay.
Okay, then you get to know if you failed or not. Yes, you did fail.
I'm just wondering if it's worth even doing it with how low that is.
If it's just adding to it and it's adding what would be effectively less than 6, I would say no.
Yeah. Okay then.
Okay, so the ground shakes. Kalina, Phelan, and Naya, all 3 of you are not able to keep your footing, and you fall prone to the ground.
Yep.
The ground shakes, and everybody who's outside and can see the clock tower, you see it age drastically, and the middle of the clock tower falls into the 100-foot pit. Effectively, that area there is now no more.
This is gone.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit the left button 3 times.
Well, did Midnight see that?
Yeah, did I see that?
You were inside the building, so no, you didn't see it, but you definitely felt the ground shake.
Princess is gonna fly upwards until I can see what's going on.
Naya is going to stand up and
Not
brush
my
herself
fault.
off
Not
and
my fault.
help everybody else up. And kind of look over and be like, maybe don't do anything else until we're inside the building.
So you push the left button.
Right. 3 times.
Okay, you
Well,
push it.
do you wait until we're in the building?
Yes, I wait till everyone's in the building.
Okay, you push the left button 3 times,
Yes.
and it ticks back. It ticked up 4 times from pushing the right button once, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you see it move back 1 tick at a time every time you push the left one. So it's now 1
Oh.
tick to the right of center.
Okay, so I want to get it 8 left of center.
Okay. So,
I push it 9 times.
okay, you push it. It's back on the center. You push it again. It continues ticking back 1 at a time, and you eventually get it 8 ticks left of center, which
Okay.
is nearly all the way down of the
Okay.
Is there a reason why you're trying to get it to
gauge.
that?
Is everyone going into the tower, staying
not
out?
that specific one.
Yeah, I can't move my token right now because my hands are a bit sty. But yeah, I am moving into the tower.
Since everyone
I
else is
would-
going in, Dreamo
yeah.
will too.
Yeah, and Naya's going to peek out the building but stay in the building.
Okay.
What?
So you push
Everyone
it.
ready?
I think we're all here.
Push the red button.
Okay, you push the red button. The ground shakes. Everything suddenly goes dark for everyone inside. Naya, since you can see outside, you see the tower rather quickly lift itself up and out of the broken bits and pieces of the pit, pick itself up into the air slightly, and you see it as if time is running backwards as this tower fixes itself back over the area y'all are in, and y'all are now trapped in the bottom of this clock tower. I don't have a map for that, I'm sorry, but it is what it is.
There's a roof now.
Is there a door now?
There is a door. There is a small door off to the side
Going to
down in the
open the
corner
door.
that is about large enough for a rabbit or something to fit into and out of.
Oh, for
Okay.
a rabbit?
Not a human.
So Colfax might be able to squeeze.
Yep, Colfax can definitely squeeze through if he tries really, really hard.
I would like to take my hand off the handprint and have Princess put her foot on it.
Okay, you take your hand off the handprint. Everybody inside who does not have dark vision, everything goes black as all the lights go off.
Can I pull out my hooded lantern?
You can.
Okay.
You want to light it?
Sure.
You have light again. And up above you, you see various
And
mechanisms
they
and pipes
say,
and things.
"Let there be light." I don't know who lit it up.
I shift my vision into Princess as well.
Princess places his foot on the funky looking gem that looks like a hand, and nothing happens.
Dang it. Alright, I put my hand back on it.
The room lights up again.
Well, I'm keeping this out.
I guess I'll fix the clock. But now we're stuck. Unless I break it again. What do you guys want me to do?
Give me a second. No, I don't have anything that can help us here.
Can Princess fly up through the tower, see if there's a way out anywhere that's bigger than a rabbit?
Princess can certainly go up through. I need Princess, if you would please, to make a, let's see, a strength save and a dex save in that order. Princess starts to fly up, and now that the clock tower seems to be back in fully working order, there are various bits and pieces that are now moving around, gears that are turning. There's a door flap that Princess will have to fit through in order to get up further, so that would be the strength save in order to do so.
Strength save of 12, dex save of nat 1.
Princess manages to push up through this door flap that is opening and closing just enough, locking herself out from below. One of the gears, however, that's turning around, it seems to be one that's not quite fully gear shaped. It's like a fourth of a gear that seems to be swinging back and forth like a pendulum. And unfortunately, Princess gets conked in the head by one bit here.
Uh-oh.
And takes 1 point of bludgeoning damage. I need you to please roll a percentile for me, a D100.
Uh-oh.
Can I... Can we see this happening?
47.
You can look up, and through the door that was barely open, it seems to be a flap that is opening and closing, but there is space to see. So you can look up and see this going on. Princess flew up, made it through the flap, got conked in the head by a gear.
You
That
see Midnight kind of flinch when that happens too.
that effect actually dominoes Princess into another gear, and I need Princess to please make another dex save for me.
Okay. Come on, Princess. Dex is your thing. 17.
Okay, Princess manages to catch himself just before he gets pinched in between two of the gears.
Oh, good.
I need you to roll a percentile for me, if you would, please.
95.
Okay, everything is okay. Princess has caught his breath and is currently in between this multitude of moving gears and steam pipes and various other things that seem to be going on up in this clock tower. Everyone from below, every time the door opens, you saw Princess in another part being ping-ponged around, but now Princess is kind of hovering, flying in space.
Midnight is gonna kind of snap her fingers. Princess is gonna disappear, and then she's gonna snap her fingers again, and Princess is gonna be on her shoulder.
Okay.
Naya is going to look around at the group and say, does anyone in particular want to scout outside, or should I go?
Can you fit
How are
through
you
that
going to get
bloody
outside?
door?
Naya will, assuming no one volunteers, will face step. If someone volunteers, she will touch them, and
Colfax
they
would
will face
probably
step
volunteer.
instead.
Yeah, I'm sure Colfax, since he's the father of the group, would probably be willing to try and at least fit through to stick his head out of the
Yeah.
small door.
So I've already seen what the outside looked like at one point.
Mhm.
So Naya is going to cast face step, and instead of departing herself, is going to depart Colfax 30 feet, up to 30 feet.
Before you do that, let's
Yep.
have Colfax try to fit through the door first, so that
Okay.
you're not wasting a spell.
Because otherwise, I could go out there. Well, it's a
Yeah.
it's a racial feature. I have 3 of them.
Okay.
So
That's
so
up
what
to you
does
all.
Colfax need to
He will
roll
be
to
happy regardless. He'll say he'll try and slip through first.
okay, if he fails, we can get him out.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
I
he is
have
going
his stuff up, so
Colfax hunkers down, curls himself up into a slap ball, manages to squish his shoulders together just a bit to fit diagonally through the door, and is able to climb outside.
Okay.
Okay.
Colfax looks around, says there's a big ravine in the ground, and says everything else looks exactly as it was before.
It's just the clock tower
It
that's
looks
changed?
like it's just the clock tower that has changed.
Okay.
Were we supposed to fix the clock tower?
I feel
I
like we
don't
were
know.
supposed to cross the clock tower, but
But it's interesting.
it's
I
interesting.
mean, we can break it again.
Oh no, let's not do that again.
Well,
we,
let me
we can break it so that it's across the ravine again.
Let me just. Yes, I can't face step across the ravine. Not quite.
Is there any writing in here, Firedale?
There is not.
Okay.
At least not that you can see easily. Would you like to take a moment to look around and see if you see any? Because there are various little doors and things that you can look in, but that'll mean, releasing your hold over the mechanism.
Yep.
Also, out of character, I just want to point out after about a half hour of my stream being live and it dropping 15,000 frames, it is solidly green and probably in the best shape it has ever been.
Yay!
Okay then.
All right. Yes, I would like to take a look around.
Okay, you take a look around. All the buttons go off as you remove your hand from it. Please give me an investigation check if you would. Anybody else who wants to look around in this small building, please give me an investigation check.
Yes, I would like to do the
Do you have dark vision?
investigations.
Oh wait, are we in the dark?
Yes,
No, there's
we're in pitch
there's
black.
a
Somebody
lantern that's
had-
been lit. Remember?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
there's light and stuff.
Kalina has a
didn't hear that.
lantern.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
Kalina has lit her lantern.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna stand here with my lantern.
I see what today has.
Can
in
I
store for me.
assist?
You can assist anybody if you want to, but everybody's looking around, so it's totally up
Don't
to you.
assist me; it'll be useless.
You can choose to assist and give somebody, if you roll a 10 or better, they will get to roll.
I want to do two things actually.
Uh-huh.
In assisting, I'm going to cast guidance on somebody to give them a D4.
I think
So
Faye
I would-
forgot to put her contacts in this morning.
Probably. So I would probably, if Kalina's just standing there, and it's everybody else looking around, I would probably go ahead and guidance myself then, since everyone else has rolled.
I'll be your friendly neighborhood light holder.
And I will also investigate. So add a D4 to that nat 20. So hold on. 23.
Colfax will investigate on the outside.
Okay, I'll roll his. Or you got it. Okay.
I guess I should actually pick Colfax here. That way it stops showing my name. So many names of things.
Oh, speaking of Colfax, I figured you guys might find a laugh. My sister wasn't paying attention to the stream, and I have Colfax on as an MIA thing. and she thought it said kissing in action, not missing
Oh.
in action.
You know, he really
Oh,
loves his
dear.
bun-buns.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I thought that was kind of funny, not gonna lie.
All right. Well, so I have a 23 on the inside, and Colfax has a 6 outside.
Okay. Colfax doesn't notice anything special. You on the inside, through all your looking, you find a place that appears to be a receptacle of some sort, but it seems to be missing something. It's curved in a way, but you see several slots that are into it. That inside one of these doors, where it looks like something used to fit into it, but you don't see what it is laying around anymore. But on the inside of this receptacle, like up at the top, you see what what you would consider a signature that just says Loom, Loum.
Huh. And I will convey that to the group. And then how large of a receptacle are these that look like they have places for stuff to go?
It's a singular receptacle that was inside one of the doors that opened, and it's about a foot diameter semi-sphere that has several slots into it.
I'm going to, just for fun, pull out one of our dark glass spheres that we got. I'm gonna just plop one in there.
Okay. Doesn't quite fit.
Okay.
Nothing seems to happen.
Okay. Too big? Too small?
Too small.
Okay.
Could it be the gems in the bath that
Maybe.
need to be plucked out?
Doubt it. Um,
I'm going to add the
Colfax
other
says he
sphere,
didn't find anything.
so there's just 2 in there.
Okay. The receptacle is sideways, so it's like it's in the wall and not in the floor of the
Gotcha.
building.
Okay.
Does that make some semblance of sense in your head?
Then I would not put the second one in there because that would
Yeah.
be interesting to try to balance.
I have an arcane focus orb. Would that fit?
It's about the right size. I mean, you can try it.
I'll try it.
Okay. You place the arcane focus orb that's about a foot diameter in there, because this is something, you know, that you hold in your hand to focus magic on and everything. And
Mhm.
it seems to somewhat fit perfectly, but nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
I don't think my carved antler is going to do anything, so...
No, I don't think so. And I don't think the malachite square cut gem is going to do anything either.
I'm gonna take that one out, and I'm gonna pull out the other arcane focus orb with the storm clouds inside and put that one in.
Again, it's about the same size. It seems to like fit into the receptacle approximately okay, but nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
All right, I take it back out. Put it away.
I would like to look around now. Seeing that those fit, I'd like to look for one in this room.
Okay. You look
Uh-huh.
around with your investigation check, having looked at all the doors and everything. You don't think you've seen anything else that would fit in there or appears to approximate what would normally go in there.
Okay.
All right, so the dial is currently all the way left, right?
It is okay. It's a circular dial,
Oh,
and you have moved the tick mark almost all straight down. It's one tick from being straight down.
Okay.
There are 8
Um,
ticks to the left of the center, 8 ticks to the right of the center, and then straight up and straight down.
And the sprites are gone, right?
The sprites are with you all.
Oh, they are still here.
Yeah, they were asked to stick around.
I wasn't
didn't
sure
run
if
off.
they were sticking around now that they've received their prize, because technically they were asked to stick around every night.
Nah, at the moment, they're kind of hidden in the backpack because
Okay.
of all the weird things that are going on.
through
I
the
would like everyone, if you would please, to make a Constitution save.
I will reach out a hand,
I was about to say, with my rolls today, that's illegal.
and I'm going to put a hand on Phelan's shoulder to kind of help steady and cast guidance.
I need it. Thank you. You're a lifesaver. What does guidance do again?
Does Princess
Guidance
get to roll?
means you
Constitution.
get to add a 1d4 to your roll.
A 1d4.
Yeah. Can we say that I'm helping physically steady her as well with my 20?
You can.
Does Princess need to roll?
I'm gonna cry.
Yes.
What is this shit? What
that-
is this?
Hey, at least you didn't roll a 1 at the start. You rolled a 4.
Yeah. Could have been worse.
The die. So last time they loved me. Today they're like, hell no. Fucking hate your guts. I don't
They're
know what I
trying
did
to
them.
find balance, okay?
They do this
Maybe
every
six.
time. I have one good game and then a shitty ass game follows after, and I'm just like, no.
That's
please,
okay.
no.
Naya's ready to catch you.
What's the 3d6?
Colfax,
You get
Naya,
bonus.
Colfax and Naya take 4 damage, 4 bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
as from all around you, echoing from overhead, a loud dong
Oh,
echoes through the chamber, and you being inside of it, it seems to magnify it
Okay.
overhead.
So
Everyone
failing
else-
was a good thing?
Everyone else
don't know yet.
takes 9 damage.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Midnight, Phelan,
We effectively got to resist
Princess.
it. Because we passed.
mhm.
So we took half damage.
And then you hear a clicking overhead.
so Princess took 9 damage.
Yes,
Princess is gone.
Princess poofs.
I can't spare the dying a poof familiar, I'm sorry. Wish I could.
You hear a clicking overhead, and you hear a tap.
I'm gonna block my
Wait,
ears before it happens again.
Wait, how much did Midnight take?
9 damage.
9? Okay.
Anybody who didn't pass the saving throw
Yep.
took
Only
9 damage.
Naya
Everyone
and
who did took 4.
Colfax took 4.
Okay.
Everyone else failed.
Okay.
I am going to, before it happens again, very, very quickly, I'm going to Emboldening Bond. And I can pick 3 creatures. Also, is Drema visible and did Drema suffer that?
You don't see Drima. You do, however, see a very hunkered up and paws over his ears good boy down in the corner.
So what I'll do is I'll use 2 uses of Emboldening Bond. To get all 6 of us in here, including Good Boy and Princess.
Okay. Well, Princess is gone.
Oh, yeah, Princess is gone, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Princess didn't have much health. Poor
No,
Princess.
Princess has 10 health.
Alright, well, I'll just use 1 then, and
Was
I
Princess
will...
already hurt?
Yeah, from the gears.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the one bonk from the gear. You are absolutely correct.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so Midnight, Phelan, and Kalina will be the recipients of an Emboldening Bond. You are effectively magically bonded for 10 minutes,
Okay.
and you get to roll an additional d4 and add it to an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw once per turn.
Okay.
Okay.
So you just have a d4 now.
Yeah, Princess took exactly enough damage to
Yep.
poof.
You hear another click overhead.
And Naya will hunker down closer to the ground and put her shield over her head and brace.
Midnight starts panicking, goes and places her hand on the thing, hits right twice, and then slams the red button.
Okay, you hit right twice. You slam the red button. I need everyone, if you would please, make a Constitution save.
I will
With
guidance
advantage?
myself.
Can I give you? Wait, I get advantage.
Yeah.
I have a fucking chance.
Wait, why advantage?
I will explain after everyone
It'll
does
get
it.
explained after. Just do it.
Wait, no, everybody? Or I missed out.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody con save with advantage.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, con
I didn't.
save,
I didn't
okay.
need the advantage 21, but
so I get +4, right?
everybody gets a 1d4 that they can add that I named.
Ah!
So everyone but Colfax.
I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh,
You
no.
did.
9, 10, 11,
Roll your
12, 13.
d4. It's a freebie.
This is D4.
Well, I got a 23.
It laughs at me.
Got a crit on the d4. So you get 8.
It's laughing at me.
So what was your second roll?
A 2.
Okay.
Yeah, the 4 is her keep the highest
I
one.
rolled a 1 and a 2.
Gotcha. You rolled it as a keep the highest rather than through the thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm not. I'm in Spain without the S.
I will say Naya was holding the shield up above her head, trying to mitigate if we can, if that matters at all.
Whenever we have these skill check things, they always roll shittily. So Phelan looks like she's a complete and utter doof.
She was trying.
She tries so hard.
You hear the start of the very thuddy, deep dong, and Maya slams her hand on the red button, and it goes dong,
Or
and
Midnight
very
slammed her
high pitched,
hand on it.
very speedy sound as you hear dong, and then another loud dong, and then another loud dong, and then another loud dong, as apparently the gears and everything seem to be moving extremely fast up above for just a moment and then slows back down to normal. Everybody who did not get a 15, so Midnight's good,
Me.
Naya is good, Phelan and Kalina, you take 4 damage. Everybody who did save takes nothing. The
Okay.
sound did not reverberate long enough, loud enough, or deep enough in order to cause as much damage as it did before. And then the gears slow back down, and you just hear a regular click from up above as y'all are in here. The clock tower is still standing over your head.
What? And it's back at center?
You didn't say back at center, you said pushing
Nope.
it to the right.
Yeah, but
You-
before when I hit the right button, it went 4.
Right, but you've pushed it so many times over to the left that it's still not where it was originally.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
It's
8
still
to the left.
further to the left than it was in its original state.
In your panic state, what you didn't notice is when you pushed it to the right, it only moved up 1 tick each time you pressed it.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yep.
It is now 6 to the left.
Okay.
So Naya is gonna look at Phelan again. You sure you don't want to go outside?
Click.
Do I have a
Midnight is
choice?
panicking right now. She's hitting that button until it's back at the center, and then she's
I don't
slamming
think
that button
Midnight's
again.
gonna give me much of a choice right
Everyone
now.
sees Midnight frantically
Well,
pushing
I'm
these
saying
buttons.
I can try to teleport you out right now.
Here's a question. If I crouch
Yeah, sure.
down far
You can
enough,
teleport me out.
if I crouch down far enough and look out that little door, can I Misty step my way out?
If you want to, if you want to, you can turn into a rat and walk out.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
wild shape
I
and walk out.
forgot.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been effectively doing the Fey version of Misty Step. Because you can peek through the doorway and see where you're gonna
Okay.
land.
So this is happening all at once, pretty much. Is Midnight hears the click, starts frantically pushing that right arrow, wondering why it didn't go up much. Notices that it's actually going up 1 each time.
Before she hits that button, I'm Misty stepping my butt out, thank you.
I am casting Fey Step and sending Phelan out as well. And I will sit here with Midnight.
Okay, so Kalina goes out.
Trying to. It's.
Phelan goes out.
I have to go to here.
Well, you can go up to 30. It's up to you.
Yep. As much or as little as you want.
So Naya, Good Boy, and Midnight are still in here. There's another click, and then Midnight slams her hand on the button. I'm assuming you said it was straight up now.
Yeah, back to center is where she
Okay.
was trying to get it.
So everybody inside and outside gets a pretty good look. As this tower starts to crumble around the edges, you see moss growing over the outside, the vines and things. The bottom gives and cracks quickly appear, and you see it fall to the side in rather quick motion and land right where it was when you all first got to this area.
As
There is
the thing
there's no
cracks, I
fanfare.
will jump in front of Midnight and raise my shield to
Okay.
shield from any debris.
Yep, there are cracks falling from above, very small pieces. Most of it landed on the outside, and the tower and the room that you're in crumbles back to the state it was when you first got here.
Midnight is just there, just like repeatedly pressing this red button with like bug eyes.
Once
And
things are back where they were, Naya is going to gently reach out and pull your hands away from the buttons.
yep, nothing happens with repeated presses of the red button.
Yeah, she lets you do that. You can tell she's a bit freaked out at the moment.
going to put an arm around your shoulder and just walk you out of the building.
She
Gesture
follows.
for Good Boy to come with us out.
Good Boy is more than happy to run way over here.
Yep.
And upon closer inspection, you actually see beneath Good Boy's belly a Dreama laying on the ground,
It was just
looking out.
hiding. Yeah. I'll go give Drama a hand up and then bring her with us. Once Midnight is escorted out of the building. Yep.
Dong.
Is going to look around at the group. Is anybody looking kind of worse for wear after all that?
That
Well,
hurt.
everybody definitely seems to be a little bit addled. Colfax is like holding his head a little bit, but not. He seems to have his head screwed on straight and everything. So everybody seems like they took a little
Phelan
bit
looks like
of.
she has a
What?
migraine.
Would Colfax have taken less damage since he was outside?
He actually initially got a save advantage on it anyways because he was outside.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he was still close enough that the dong was still there.
Okay.
Now you have a broken clock tower laying in front of you, and it's almost like y'all just ended up at this opening. However, there's no princess to be seen.
Naya is going to use an ability that she hasn't used yet. And she's going to kind of dash between everybody and just kind of reach out and tag people as she goes. And she is going to use her Balm of Peace.
Be healed.
Basically, yeah, she doesn't even have to touch you. She just has to see you and be like in proximity. So
She's
she's gonna
sparkly.
yeah, she's gonna have like a little bit of radiance coming off of her while she runs and zigzags between everybody.
For how
Getting
much?
like within 5 feet of everybody. And everyone that I have moved between gets to restore 2d6 plus 4.
Do we roll it
So
ourselves?
I can roll that, or you can roll it. It just says I
I rolled
restore
it for
that much.
Colfax, so Colfax
So
shakes
y'all
his
can
head a
roll
little
it.
bit, feels better.
Oh, you roll it for me.
You want me to roll it?
Yeah, you roll it for me.
All right, I'll roll for Phelan.
13.
2d6 plus 4.
There's a
meteor.
12 for you,
Yeah,
Phelan.
I
Thank
or I
you.
typed to, but apparently not.
As I hang on, I'm gonna roll it for shits and giggles.
I
see what the
am
fuck I
back
would've
up to
gotten.
max. Thank you.
Okay.
What was it? 2D what?
2d6
2d6
plus 4.
I'm
Yeah.
just rolling it for shiggles.
Okay.
I'm curious. Oh,
Min-
hey, it's a good thing I took that, isn't it?
Yeah, I rolled for you. You get 12.
Allie,
Oh my.
what is with your roll?
They hate me.
Girl needs to do a dice cleanse.
So you get
Sage
7,
them.
though. You get 7.
Yeah, so that was
So
my
you plus 4.
No,
channel
I
divinity
got-
effectively. That was my short rest channel divinity.
I had Naya roll for me because I was like, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
good,
dice don't like me today. Don't know.
Midnight looks at the clock tower and
Uh-huh.
looks pissed all of a sudden. She is going to climb up on this thing
Uh-huh.
and walk across over to this face and start stomping on it.
Well, you climb up on the edge, you take one
Mhm.
step. I need you to please make a dexterity save for me.
Oh god.
Please don't
It's
fall into the
probably
cavern.
probably
You
not
climb
the
up there, take a
sturdiest.
step there.
Second. 4.
You can make an acrobatics if it's better.
If your modifier's better.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Ah.
Okay. So you step there, and beneath your feet, you see it crumble a little bit and fall down and land on the ground just beneath where you stepped.
Okay.
Are we gonna have to mend a little square at a time as we walk?
I mean, we could pass time back a little bit less so that
Yeah.
it's fallen but not deteriorated. Freshly fallen.
True.
Yeah.
I'm not going back in there.
Midnight climbs back down, but is looking very angrily at this clock tower.
Yep.
I
I'm
want you to
gonna-
stand in the middle of it and stomp.
I'm gonna go stand up by Naya and Drama. I ain't going back near there.
Well, the balm of peace was able to heal everybody but me, but I'm not that hurt, so it's fine.
Hey guys,
Um,
I'm sorry. I've just been told I'm needed now, so I gotta go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you want us to go ahead and continue, or do we want to go ahead and call it,
We
everybody?
can call it whatever we need to do.
I'd like to continue.
We haven't
Just being
even been
honest, I'd
live
like to
for an
continue.
hour yet.
We've only been
This
live
is
for an hour.
true. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, we
sorry.
started
We'll,
a bit
we'll keep
late.
going.
Continue.
Okay.
You guys can continue without me. Just for the love of God, don't have Phelan roll anymore.
We'll just
Okay.
knock you out and carry you around.
All right. Bye,
Naya
guys.
will just teleport you
Bye.
everywhere you need to go. It's fine.
Yeah. Bye, bye.
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 Enjoy.
So, Midnight. I don't know who's paying attention to Midnight.
I'm sure everyone is looking because Midnight's definitely been making quite the spectacle here.
Midnight looks like she has the best idea ever and starts rummaging through her bag and then pulls out a grenade.
Uh-huh.
And she wants
Cold
Naya will
fact-
put a hand on her shoulder and be like,
Yeah, Colfax would probably walk up to you at that point too and be ready to stop you from whatever your best idea is.
I don't think blowing it up is gonna make it sturdier.
I think we need to cross, not destroy it more.
She reluctantly puts it back.
And that poor Granado.
And Naya will go ahead and she will head back into the building.
Okay.
And if nobody stops her, she will attempt to mimic what Midnight did earlier, but much more slowly. So she will only move it like one tick at a time.
In a more controlled manner.
Yes.
Okay. So you put your hand on it, all the buttons light up. You push the left arrow and it ticks 4 times to the left.
Okay, so when it ticks 4 times, I will tick to the right once.
Okay, so it is now 3 to the left. of center.
Okay. And then I will do one more. I want it
Midnight
two.
backs up.
I want it two to the left of center.
Okay. You
I
push
think is
the
where I
right
want
arrow
it.
and it does just tick up once. Back towards the center one time. So it's now 2 to the left of center.
Why is it randomly going 4?
And then I will call out that I'm going to let go of the button, and I will let go of the button after a minute.
You let go of the button.
You're supposed to
Or
press the button.
Whatever is. Oh, press the button. I will press the button.
Okay.
Yep.
Colfax braces. I'm assuming Phelan's going to brace, ready for whatever ground shaking might occur and everything else. But weirdly enough, the ground doesn't really shake going this direction. And those on the outside, you can see the clock tower mitting itself a little bit. The part that had
Firebutt.
fallen through. Yes.
Can you remove Allie from cross chat?
Oh, yes.
Oh, good idea.
Dagnabbit, bot. Why does it work sometimes but not others?
Because it doesn't like you. It says you are not its master.
Better like me, I'm its papa.
For those who are wondering, Allie has VTuber shenanigans that she has to do now.
There we
Yep.
go. I have removed her manually.
Okay, all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's knit itself up a little bit.
Yes, it has knitted itself somewhat. There are still some cracks and pieces here. You know, it definitely lost some pieces when it originally fell.
But it looks more whole.
It definitely looks a little bit more whole.
Okay.
Less holy.
Midnight immediately climbs up.
I'm gonna do test.
Yep, takes a step and stomps on it.
Okay, please, if you would, make a dexterity save or an athletics check, or acrobatics check, if you would, with advantage.
Nat 20. 22.
22. Nice.
Okay. You step easily and carefully, then you stomp on it, and a piece falls out from beneath your feet. There's now a hole where your foot was.
All right, and it was in its original
Mid-
state when it was at center.
Midnight
Yeah,
kind of
in the place,
smirked a
in the way
little.
you all found it, at center, it was where it was, which was much more broken down than it is now.
Okay. But that should be safe as long as we're careful, it looks like.
I'm going to take one more step out.
Okay, if you would, please give me another check
17.
with advantage.
Oh.
Okay.
17.
You step carefully and easily enough. You're okay.
But it definitely feels weak under my feet.
It still feels definitely weak, but not as weak as it originally did.
I look to see if Naya is looking at
Yeah,
me.
Naya's probably peering out the building at this point.
Okay.
I give her like a sign of like so.
Okay. Naya will gesture for you to come back.
Oh, you
hop
don't want
off
to
the side.
activate it while midnight's on it. Oh, y'all ruin all my fun.
I hop
That
off
just
the
sounds
side.
dangerous.
Yeah, Naya's
over here.
not in the habit of putting her party in danger.
Midnight, however.
And Naya will put her hand back on the switch on a gem.
The buttons light up.
She will play with the back and forth until it is 3 from center.
Okay.
3 to the left from center.
Mm-hmm.
And she will press button.
Okay, you press the button. Everyone outside, you see it knitting itself a little bit more. You see pieces flying up from the bottom of the ravine. A few of them kind of stop halfway in the air, and you see this clock tower lift itself up off the ground just so slightly, and it's now hovering in the air,
How high up?
about a foot off the ground.
Loading
Can
High
clock
enough to be
climb
tower!
up onto it?
high enough to climb onto it.
It's
Yeah,
floating.
So Naya
Well,
will look out the building
okay.
again.
It depends though, because if you go by the size of this room, it's about 20 feet
Mm-hmm.
tall already. So
I'm sure you could grab it and
Yeah,
climb
to
up.
get on the top, it's 21 feet up now.
okay. So can I try to climb back up?
You certainly can. There's enough handholds. It's easy enough for you to climb back up onto it.
I'm gonna take a step out like 4 and stomp.
Okay, you stomp, and a piece falls out from under it.
I feel like it's always gonna fall off if you stomp.
I take another step.
It definitely feels like it's more sturdy than it was before.
I'm gonna look back at Naya and just give her a thumbs up.
Okay. Naya will leave the building.
You know, there are still bits and pieces and cracks in it, but most of the cracks that you see now are near the base, where it
Right, but
apparently
if we
fell
wait
off
too
and over.
long, then we won't be able to climb back onto it. So
Mm-hmm.
Naya wants to make sure that we can actually get on top of it to cross.
Faye climbs onto.
Kalina would climb on very tentatively.
Naya will offer
Another
a
step.
lift to Good Boy, Drama, and Colfax if they need it to get up there.
Please no stomping midnight.
Good boy does his best with the help to climb up,
Midnight nods.
and does manage to climb up.
Naya's doing that thing where she's holding out her hands as a platform for someone to use as a jumping point.
The hoist.
Yeah.
Dream
Well,
actually
to
climbs
step
on
on her
Good Boy's
hands
back.
basically to get lifted up.
Jeremy climbs on Good Boy's back. It shudders a little bit now that so many people seem to be climbing up on it, but it seems to be holding, at least at the moment.
Okay.
So more people need to get over.
Naya will probably wait until people have been able to get onto the other side before she adds more weight on this side.
I'm gonna wait on this side and try to
Everyone
help
looks
pull you up.
expectantly at midnight.
Midnight takes another step.
Don't stomp.
Yeah, no stomping.
It seems like it's holding. Still seems like it's holding. And you're able to get across as long as you don't stomp.
Okay.
It holds.
So Faye needs to get across.
Aerilyn's gonna.
Seeing
So-
that, Good Boy dashes across with Dreama on his back
Okay.
Yep.
I'll
and
wait to
immediately
help.
hops off.
I'll be
Alright, once
waiting.
the rest of them are over, I will let Colfax up and I will also climb up.
He goes
Well, I'm
up.
waiting here to help you up, so
Okay. So you're gonna reach down
and try and hoist you.
grab my arm and help me come
Yep.
up? Okay.
Yep.
Alright.
And then carefully make our way across.
Yeah, make my way across. I will always be within touch range of you so that if necessary I can face step you out.
Well, I can use a Misty Step as a spell, right?
Okay. Well, yeah.
Mhm.
So we both have a teleport if we need to.
I'm just gonna tentatively just carefully walk across.
Yeah, I'm gonna slowly let there be a little bit more distance between us just because I am in.
And as soon as I can, I'm jumping down onto ground.
Yep.
Getting out of the way.
Y'all jump down and off.
Midnight waits for everyone to jump off, and then she's standing on this clock face and she
And
stomps
stomp.
on it.
I knew it.
Yep.
You shatter what glass was originally there and is in quite as it was. You break one of the arms of the clock face there, the hands, and a little piece falls beneath your feet, landing on the ground beneath.
She kind of flips her hair and then jumps down.
Now you're just gonna make a mental note to come back and mend that later.
The
Well, it'll mend
sass.
itself.
Depends. If it's a magical thing that you just broke, it won't. But yeah.
So y'all have made it over the thing towards in what appears to be a very worn out, broke down town, and in the distance of this little center plateau, you do see what appears to be a temple of some kind.
Okay.
There's
Naya
plenty.
will immediately investigate the basin nearest.
It looks much like the others that are across. Going in, and now that you kind of know that it's there, you can move the dirt around, and you see a very dim blue gem at the bottom of it.
Okay. Same thing over here. Just mainly checking to see that they're all blue gems.
They all appear to be blue,
Okay.
at least the 4 that you've checked.
All right.
It's that 5th one that'll get you.
Yes, she goes over.
I mean, I was gonna move to them all,
It's
so
definitely blue.
okay. Yeah,
They
so
all
all
appear
the
to be the
basins have
same.
blue gems in the bottom. That's
Mhm.
interesting.
Is there any writing on the outside of the clock tower up at this end?
You don't notice any writing, but you do see these random lines that cross over it, much as you did near the base of it. But as it is, I mean, you can see what it appears to look like there in the picture.
Yeah,
Various
the
things.
etchings, the
Some of them
symbols.
kind of look like these random lines of iron and cable that are laying on the ground, etchings in the ground that are still very visible. No moss or anything seems to be growing over them.
Okay.
All right. And you said there was what looked like campfire smoke in the distance?
Yes.
And you said
Towards
there's a
the,
temple?
yes. Where the temple is, there appears to be a small plume of smoke that is rising up and out of it.
How far does it look like it would take for us to get to the temple? Like, how long would that take?
Not
Can you
very.
estimate?
I mean, it. You can see how the ravine curves around. It is pretty much a perfect circle, so you can get there in less than an hour. Just a few minutes walk, I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay. I am gonna mention, because it hadn't really come up from last time, that Naya will have put the boots on her feet.
Okay.
She will have swapped for the boots, the leafy boots.
So Naya sounds a little bit quieter as she walks.
Yep.
It will offset your
My,
disadvantage to sneak to being
yes, it
stealthy.
will offset my scale mail. My armor.
So what would y'all like to do now that you're on this side of the clock tower?
My guess is head to the.
The 3 sprites peek out and say, Banrion should be just ahead. That's where she's been staying, and they point towards the temple.
Okay. So Naya will start heading that way after making sure that everybody is paying attention and moving.
Yep.
Midnight will be hanging on to Faye.
Okay, so everyone moves toward. You do see, again, the cobblestone is there. You see the walls, but they are pretty low and worn. These mainly look as if they were like dividers of some type as opposed to actual walls to keep stuff in or out.
What
So,
are
like,
these?
divide sections of a city or things like that.
What are these smaller lines?
Those little silver lines,
Yeah.
those are the things that I was saying, those kind of remind you of what you see on the clock tower.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
They look like they're copper and iron and very cable like laying on the ground.
Yep. Okay.
They go into the ground in some places and back out in other places. Very circuit like to our, current day eyes.
Naya will try to not step on any of them.
Step on a crack, turn back time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Well, are these actual buildings like over here?
You do see several small buildings. Most of the actual structures have been uh,
Warren.
crumbled by time. A few of these that you see are remnants of roofs that have just kind of sunk down, and like trees have picked them up and kept them from falling, but the walls have long since fallen.
Hmm.
You don't see any major large buildings here. Most of them seem like pretty small huts as far as you can tell that we're
All right, and where did you say the temple was located?
here. To the west.
But
I
not
need.
not a particular spot, left, right, up or down or middle.
It is pretty much straight to the west, but of course there's dense forest in between here and there.
Okay,
Uh, looking
but it looks
closer.
like going
Go
through
ahead.
here.
Yeah, you can get through there. Looking closer, especially as y'all get closer to the walls, you do see some etchings here and there along the walls of like stylized daily life of like hunting and worship and warfare with humanoid figures and very archaic style of clothing, not a very advanced type of civilization.
So temple
But
motif.
yeah.
Is there
So
any indication of who this temple is to?
there is not.
Okay.
You can see several like graven lines through all of the imagery that very much reminds you of what you see on the ground here.
All right.
They seem to flow along the wall in one direction, going from left to right. So off to the way that y'all didn't look or go. So where are you heading?
Towards the temple, try to see if there's a path through the tree line.
Okay, there definitely is. You can travel that way, and as you're traveling, it gets more dense. You start to hear the sounds of running water. You end up at what appears to be a very swamp-like structures, and the water is like seeping up through the ground, but you can still walk there fine. And the trees get thicker and thicker as you get closer to this temple that you're heading towards.
Naya's just gonna occasionally peek back at the sprites and make sure we're going the right way.
They nod their heads and point that way, and you get closer to this temple. It's now afternoon, so I'd say the sun's probably starting to set a little bit, so it's kind of got that little red look in the sky as things are getting darker. And I will go ahead and pull you all in.
Um,
Go ahead.
real quick.
Uh-huh.
Once
Oh,
we
I forgot to do something.
Yeah, that's scary looking. I don't think we should see that yet. So I'm just gonna scroll down.
Oh no, you're fine. I forgot to do a thing.
once it looks like we are within um
That was the thing I
10
thought you forgot to do. Yes.
Mhm. Unless he did that on purpose.
I mean, we
What?
totally
To
saw
mess
what it
with us.
was. My
To
entire
mess with
stream
us?
saw what that was.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what if he did it just to mess with us?
Well, he's still doing some of them.
Uh-huh.
Well, I can't do them all at once.
That's why I was scrolling down so that we didn't see it.
No, you're fine. That's what y'all would have gotten here if y'all had made a different choice. That's all is I just forgot to come in here and actually change over the tokens.
If we'd believe the hags. Yeah.
So once we are within like 10 minutes of here, I'm gonna start ritual casting a spell.
Okay, I will tell you because of how dense the forest is,
Mhm.
it is taking some effort, so you will not be able to work on casting a ritual spell while you are traveling through
Dang it.
this dense forest.
Okay. Darn.
Typically, you have to be fairly stationary for ritual spells anyway.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
do very light stuff like you can eat
Just be
or
walking.
talk, but you definitely can't perform, you know,
That's fine.
physical type tests and things that take effort to do. Which climbing through dense trees and underbrush and
Makes
over
sense.
thick roots and
Naya will refresh the emboldening bond because it only lasts 10 minutes.
okay.
Just as we're breaking the tree line here.
Yep. So you make it there. You see a rather worn kind of pier floating on the water that's broken in pieces. The water here definitely seems to be a little bit deeper, but not much so, leading to land that appears to go into this very broken down, disheveled temple type structure. You see the hindquarters of a horse that has a horn on her head standing in front of this rather large table that has several plates and whoa,
It's the emboldened bond. I'm just saying who it was.
several plates of meager food in front of it. You see sprites fluttering off in the distance that aren't really on the map, kind of sitting in the trees and chittering. They don't really seem to be making a fuss about you being here. You see several satyrs, however you pronounce that word, enjoying this meal around this table. And the fire that you saw, now that you're closer, you can see that in there and in there, though I don't have the fires there, are flames that have been lit that you can see flickering through the windows from where you are. They don't
Okay.
really seem to have noticed your arrival.
Can I
How,
attempt to perceive anything irregular around them? Anything that I might not expect to see, like anything that might look fiendish in nature around them, basically.
the temple itself definitely does not look like it's the best place to be. You see lots of these lines and drawings on the walls. Some of them kind of remind you of what you saw on the wall outside of the hunting and stuff. But in the very center that you can see up on the wall over the head of where these are feasting, you see a large spherical object that all these lines seem to converge on, and it has two horns on top and two feathery wings on the side.
Wait,
Like
what?
you see
What was
that
it you
on
had
the
before?
wall up here.
A
On the wall?
sphere with two horns on top and two feathers on the sides.
And two feathered wings on the sides.
Two horns.
Okay.
Yeah, and all these lines that seem to be all over this temple, like was that on the wall, seem to all converge on it, as if they either begin at it or end at it.
Okay. Do I have any recognition of that symbology with the sphere with the two horns and the wings on the side?
Uh, you do not, but if you can give me an intelligence check, please.
Can I
Okay,
as well?
just a flat intelligence check.
Mm-hmm. With advantage for you.
Can I as well?
Yeah, everyone else can give me one, but Naya's the only one who gets
Horrible
the
roll.
advantage.
Horrible rolls.
Just a straight intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Rolled very poorly there.
For some reason, mine is not fixed.
I rolled a 5 and a 7, so it's not good.
Yeah, because everyone was kind of watching you
Normal?
look around and everything.
You said normal, right?
Yeah, it's normal roll for everybody but Naya.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
I might know a teeny tiny bit.
Meteor knows less than me, which is quite a feat with what I rolled.
Upon looking at it and looking at how the lines and everything are, Kalina, it kind of dawns on you that some of the lines that are in the center of the circle look vaguely kind of like that impression was that Naya found behind that little door with the little slots and things like that. It reminds you very reminiscent of that.
Kind of looks like
The
that.
wings and the horns, not so much, but the sphere and the imagery on it definitely seem to be.
That sphere kind of reminds me of that thing that you found behind the door.
The receptacle missing a thing?
Yeah?
Okay.
Very reminiscent of it.
So Naya is going to very stealthily move forward and wait to see if the sprites up ahead and ruin the element of surprise.
the sprites peek out of the backpack and look over at you, and they kind of snicker quietly to themselves, and they kind of hunker back down into the backpack as they
Yeah,
see you
Naya's
being
gonna kind of give him a
quite
wink and,
sneaky.
put fingers to the lips. Gonna get into a little bit of mischief.
Wait, what? What are you doing?
She's trying to
Naya
sneak up on
is
Branryon.
sneaking forward, yeah.
Okay, if
Oh,
you
okay.
would make a stealth check for me.
Okay, and it's a normal roll instead of disadvantage because of the boots. Hooray! It's wonderful. Okay. Is this a sound-based one?
For stealth, yes.
Okay, because it specifies for the boots
Yeah.
that the boots are advantage on sound
Mm-hmm.
checks. So
You're walking. You're not hiding behind something, so
yep. So would that be a flat?
yes,
Okay, double checking.
because it
Making
cancels
sure.
out your disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay, rolled a flat, so 12. Not great.
Well, we get to see.
Against their
Is she,
perception.
is she the only one going forward right now, or are we all doing this?
She's the only one that said anything.
I think they found me.
They don't respond. They are happily eating. They're chattering away. Can't really make out what they're saying because they're all kind of talking over each other. I had roll disadvantage because they are quite distracted at the moment.
Naya's gonna turn to look at the rest of the group and do the kind of gesture, the shushing gesture,
All right, so we all
and then
stealth.
point forward so everybody will stealth. Yeah.
Should I cast a pass without a trace?
If you want
Nah.
to, but I
I don't
think this is
think it's
just for
needed.
funsies.
Yeah. So I assume we all need to roll now, Firedale.
If you're trying to walk sneakily, yes.
I think we're all attempting to stealth. I'm trying to get by this pillar.
Not advantage though, regular stealth, correct?
Yeah, normally. Meter's rolling 3 times.
I don't know why it rolled twice for me.
I
I
think I'm a
failed on that
Third one
stealthy
was
last one.
bun
Faye.
bun.
I think I've been found on this last one. That was a 7.
The third one was Phelan.
Oh, the 17 was Phelan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Banana, for reminding me to do this.
For Colfax, yeah.
I accidentally still had it on advantage.
So it's just a 13.
I didn't stealth very well there, but that's alright.
I think I stealth pretty dang good.
You did.
I'm a stealthy bun. A
So
stealthy
y'all
bun
are
bun.
stepping there. Dream is on top of Good Boy's back. Good Boy walks over the water. There's a loud splashy noise.
Yeah, he's not being stealthy.
Yeah, Good Boy is just walking. And everybody looks up from what they're eating, and the unicorn turns around from the food and looks down the path towards you all.
Midnight hides behind Phelan.
And says, "Hello, you must be Naya and friends. I've heard so little about you."
Naya will step forward.
The voice sounds very familiar through the telecommunication that you had before.
Yep.
Welcome, welcome. Would you like to join us for food? Though I'm afraid we don't have much. Those hags have kind of kept us from being able to forage quite the best. And she steps aside, and you see a large plate of berries and various mushrooms and leaves and everything else there on a large plate.
Phelan would probably pipe up and be like, "Yeah, those hags are dead now."
If I had hands, I would wipe my brow. And she leans down her the front half. She leans down on one knee and bows her head to you all and says, "Greetings, greetings. I'm known as Banrion. Welcome, welcome. I'm afraid that I don't have the best offer, but you're quite welcome in my little abode that the hags have chased me to. I hear that they've been taken care of.
They have.
Yep.
Good, good. And then the sprites pop out and say, "Surprise!" And Banrion looks rather amused. I don't know the best way to say it, but
Yep.
amused and then lets out a little ah, and then speaks up and says, "Did you find them?" And then the three sprites fly around in circle in the head and says, "This is them." Then the other one says, "This is them," and then the other one says, "This is them," and then they all giggle together. And
Midnight is
Banron looks as happy as a unicorn can look, with very limited horse facial expressions.
Mhm.
Midnight's gonna do two things. One, she's gonna pull out of her bag one of the the puppets that Naya fixed for her.
Uh huh.
Yep.
Probably the princess one. And just start kind of hugging it. Uh, she's still on edge, but a little less so now.
Uh huh.
And the second thing is she's gonna just kind of look around and see if there's any writing in this temple anywhere.
Any writing?
Yeah, writing.
In what regard? Are you looking for something specific?
I'm
Uh,
looking for any kind of writing,
well, I mean,
like words.
you have, you don't really see anything written word wise on the walls or anything.
Okay. Uh, I'm basically looking for any indication as to what this temple is other than drawings.
Uh, Without further investigation, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
I mean, you can see laying on the ground, there's various fallen pillars, pots and things. A lot of the debris and broken stuff seems to have been moved off, like into the little side passages that you can see there, as they've kind of made this place somewhat usable for a quote unquote, home base, so to speak. But nothing really stands out. I can say, other than the sphere with the horns and the feathered wings, nothing really stands out as religious iconography that you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Again, mostly you just see lots of these lines that seem to be zigzagging over everything. You see various suns and moons and things like that along the walls, but nothing majorly, religious looking, I should say. So
Okay.
you don't really notice anything of that, but that in itself is strange in and of itself for a what you would
Temple.
think of as a temple.
Right. Okay.
There are no statues. There are just the imagery that you see on the walls, and most temples that have a deity as its base normally have some further statuesqueness of them, or some way, where people would pray or do things like that. So that's what you do notice, is
Okay.
you notice nothing, which is notable in and of itself.
Does it look like it's been scrubbed of influences?
uh, just with the cursory look, not really. You
Okay.
don't really notice like drag marks of where like statues may have been drug out or removed. As far as you can tell, the stonework that you see hasn't really been painted over, other than the lines and everything that you see, stuff like that. So it doesn't, as far as you can tell, appear as if anything has been pointedly removed.
Hmm.
I love how we're all just tentative and anxious now.
Banrion has already welcomed us,
Mhm.
so
And invited you to eat of the what little forage of the forest they've been able to pull together.
Everybody gonna go eat?
Naya will ask, almost borderline impolitely,
Hmm.
which is unusual for Naya. Um, if that offer is offered freely and without obligation.
Banrion laughs and says, "Ah, you know the Fey people. Yes, you're free to eat. I understand. I've had my fair share as well."
Okay.
When I became their impromptu leader here, it was explained to me in quite detail how things of that I should say and shouldn't say around the faithful. I've not lived around that many in our previous home. And speaking of that, we were told that you might have a way to get us home. Autor said that you would be appearing sometime this time, so I sent my 3 little sprite friends here to go find you, and he left a note for you that I'm supposed to give you, and said that you should be able to get us home with your key or some such, but I'm sure that can come here later. I'm sure the journey here has been quite rough, especially with the hags, so feel free to partake.
Naya will nod at the party, basically like thumbs up. Okay, like it's safe.
Just
while
oh,
while they're talking, can Midnight just kind of hide behind Phelan and try to stealthily cast Detect Good and Evil?
You can attempt to do so stealthily, but I will need you to actually make a stealth check with that.
Yep, that's
But
fine.
this is not a pass without a traceable thing because you're casting a
Right,
spell.
correct.
So you get no extra bonuses to it.
12.
Well, and am I pulling any attention by engaging while this is happening?
Uh, sure. One moment. There.
I'm assuming it's probably through Meteor's end. Meteor?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there might be no sounds.
No sounds?
Unless
That
Luke's in your chat, Lily.
Oh.
No, Luke is not in mine.
I'm assuming it's through Meteor's.
Oh no. Yeah, they can't hear the others.
Uh-oh.
What the heck?
It's
Well,
okay.
They can hear me.
Meteor, I will send you a copy of my VOD.
Just really need the audio.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, but you'll have to pull that from the VOD,
Yeah.
right?
It'll be
There you go.
easier to sync up that way too, because of when we all press start.
I'll send you a copy of the VOD. So,
Thank you.
noticing the limited amount of food on the table,
Hmm.
I'm going to cast another good berry. And I'm going to place 10 berries on the table and be like, here are some good berries for added nutrients.
Banneron bows her head to you and says, "Thank you, thank you."
Welcome.
And the others kind of look at Banneron, hopeful, and Banneron looks back at them and then at you and says, "Is it okay if they partake?"
Absolutely, we've had some today.
Okay, and all the
You
little
said there's
friends
a
happily
fire, yes?
run up and grab one, and pretty soon there are no good berries left in the middle.
Yep. Naya will be
Well, there
looking
should
for
be
this
one.
fire.
Because there's 9 there, right?
Because she put 10 on the table.
Yeah, but Banneron took one.
Okay.
Yeah. Banneron took one as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Naya will look for the campfire.
Okay, yeah, there are 2 fires that are lit in there and there, and
Are
those
they
are
currently being used?
they're fires that are lit, but no, there's nothing really over top of them. So you
Naya
couldn't
will
really use.
ask if she might have use of the fire.
Oh, Manron says, of course, feel free, feel free.
And
And to
Naya
meteor,
will-
you cast your spell.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for 10 minutes, I will know if there is aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me.
Okay, you detect celestial within 5, 10, 15, 20 feet of you, and several fey within 30 feet of you.
Okay.
Too bad you didn't have butter out.
Naya will
And if it matters
make
at
her
all,
way to the
probably
fire.
doesn't. I also know of any object or place that has been magically consecrated or desecrated.
Okay, you actually feel that this place has been consecrated.
Oh.
That's good. Naya will fish out
Though it
some of
seems to
her
be quite weak, but you can tell that it has been consecrated.
some of the stuff from the mess kit, and she will start a fresh batch of tea
Okay.
using some of the flower petals.
Okay, so it's sacred ground. That's what that means.
So you do that just fine using the good flower petals.
I would
Yep.
actually like to use a mixture.
Okay.
Some good, some half.
Alrighty.
I don't
So
know
you
if that
do
will
that.
change anything.
For
You do
science.
that. Start making some tea. The satyrs that are around and various sprites from the area kind of fly over and watch and start commenting about how good it smells and various other things. And Renron looks at you expectantly and says, "So, welcome. Autor didn't tell me much about you, just that you would be here. And Naya, based on your voice, I assume that would be you." She
Naya will wave.
motions her head towards Naya and says, "So, who are the others here?" and looks at everyone else expectantly.
I'll bow down and be like, "Hi, my name is Kalina."
And Banrion bows her head to you as if greeting or acknowledging your statement.
Naya
And
is eyeing the satyrs.
you're eyeing the satyrs.
Yeah, see if they react to that phrasing.
To which?
To her saying my name is.
Oh. No, they're all kind of contently looking at you in the
Okay,
tea.
good.
They don't really seem to be.
Okay, is there something I'm missing?
No, it's a
It's the
thing of
same thing
knowing your name
she said
compared
last
to
time.
knowing
It's a
what
Fey
your name might be.
thing, but
Yeah.
Banrion's not Fey. Banrion's celestial, so you're okay with Banry.
Phelan, this one's midnight. I just kind of
Uh-huh.
wave sheepishly.
And
And hide
Colfax,
behind
I'm sure, introduces himself in quite an entertaining way that makes
my
Banneron
name is
laugh.
Colfax. I look to do this and this and this and this, and my favorite fruit is this.
And I
Yep,
really
that
love
sounds about
buns.
Naya is
There's
passing
these
out
awesome
tea
buns.
to the satyrs. What else is going
Everyone
on?
that you offer happily accepts. None
Do,
say thank you, but they do accept.
Mm-hmm.
do we have enough tea for everyone?
Yeah. Yeah, I can make enough tea.
And Banneron says, "If you don't mind, would you be willing to share it in the bowl or assist me in sipping?"
Yeah. Yeah, Naya would also offer some to Banrion, absolutely.
Yeah.
And is
So is
also
that-
offering to the party.
That's the tea that gives us a long rest, basically.
We're not sure
It's
yet.
the combination, so we're not sure what it does yet.
Oh.
Because that's also partially why I'm using flowers from both stashes to make sure that I have enough to make the tea suitably strong.
And y'all have had a long rest in the days since then, right?
Yeah.
It's been a bit.
Yes,
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
we
Y'all
left
definitely
on this
rested
journey.
before you left. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So we
Before you
would
left
get the
uh,
long rest if it does kick
Yeah.
in.
Mm-hmm.
So Naya passes out tea. Everyone going to take a sip, enjoy your
Yep.
tea.
Yes.
Okay, feel free to take a long rest if you would.
Alright, so I get my spell slot back.
Yes, my spell slots, thank you.
Mine too, thank you.
All the satyrs and the sprites that took a little sip here and there give out that happy and And Banneron looks at you and says, "This is quite good. Is this made from the flowers of the forest?"
I will show both flowers that were used.
Banneron kind of tilts her head curiously and says, "It's quite different flowers that you have here compared to home."
The dryads implied that these flowers, to half correct flowers, were a result of the power of the realm leaching out of the forest.
Banneron looks quite concerned about that and says, then we should probably be sent home as soon as possible then. We don't want to overtake your lands with the energy of ours."
And I will very carefully pull out the the vial, one of the vials with the crystal shards
Uh-huh.
that we've kind of welded together to secure.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Firebutt say that they...
Yeah, I was going to say, you pull it out, and within you see crystal dust and no longer
Yeah, it reverted
nice
back.
big growth shards.
That's
Mm.
good. Well, because
Something
time
seems to
moved.
have sucked the energy out of these shards a little bit.
That's good.
That's interesting.
Which
Um,
Midnight, that probably pings to you as well of energy or something being sucked out of something, considering what happened to
Mm.
Princess before.
Okay.
So we may have a way to safely remove the crystal growths elsewhere. We can tap into that.
Depends on if it was the fault of the hags,
Yeah, we'll see.
in which case we
Um,
kind of got rid of that.
mhm.
Real quick, uh, basically after I cast the detect good and evil, and then came up to the table to eat, I would have started trying
Lots
to
of
cast
Fae.
find familiar.
Okay. Yeah, you
Yep.
can definitely eat and start casting that. You do notice, for the few minutes that you have it, lots of Fae around, celestial. You don't detect any undead or demonic ties.
Wonderful.
So y'all eat, you drink, 10 minutes pass. What familiar shall you bring in?
Find familiar takes an hour.
Oh, an hour. I thought it was 10 minutes. My
Yep.
apologies.
Yeah.
We'll be here talking for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone sips, everyone seems content, and then Banneron speaks up and says, Autor told me that your group would be showing up in that town sometime around now, and said I should seek you out to try and assist us in returning home. Said that you would have the prince available, though he didn't go into detail about what that is. He did have her leave me a note that I should share.
Naya was intending to ask briefly um, whether or not the crystals, or I guess in this case the dust,
Mhm.
was also something being sent out from their realm or not. Testing for recognition, basically.
Banrion shakes her head and generally says, "No, that's not something that I recognize, or definitely not something from where we are. I mean, we have some animals in the Feywild that have certain crystal-like structures and things, but nothing that appears to be like blue dust
Okay.
or icy dust."
Crystal
And is the
tortoises?
dust materializing at all? Point, has it started to have any growth that now that it's exposed out to the air or to the environment, I guess?
You do see a few of them slightly seeming to expand, but not very much, not very quickly.
Okay.
It's definitely not as dusty as it was before,
Okay.
but it's still
Naya
pretty
will put them
fine.
away back in the normal backpack.
Okay.
Um, and will ask to see this note that was left.
Okay. Banron speaks up and looks at all the sprites that are darting around. here and there, and speaks up and says, "Salin, if you don't mind, could you please get the letter? You know where it is." And Salin, which is the more active one, but not the normal leader one, kind of goes off to the side over here, and from one of the urns that is there, draws forth a piece of parchment and offers it to Naya.
Okay. Naya will kind of place the parchment down, kind of rejoin the group over here, and take a seat on the ground and put the parchment in front of her so that the rest of the group can look and see it as well.
Yep, so this is what it says. And it says,
Okay.
first, please hand this note to them so they may see what you say is true. Second, please let them know I left it, and the rest with the intention it be read carefully. Third, please inform them of the right path when they leave the forest. Fourth, please make sure they haven't left anything behind. And fifth, please give them a friendly push before they send you home. Lastly, please let them know the order is the key and they should alter the poem I left to reveal the truth as it goes.
Okay, let me
And
just drop that in the chat for you.
Oh, he popped it up on screen.
No, I'm typing the blue text for us.
yes, and as you all see this, the text that you see blue on there actually seems to have a slight glow to your eyes.
First hand, second left, third right, fourth left,
So this is the
fifth
clock
push.
And then
Yep.
Vanron says, please bring the other notes if you would. And Salin goes and grabs 3 more pieces, and he said I should specifically give them to you in this order. And then says to Salin, beside her and in, please, if you don't mind. And so Salin lays out all 3 of these notes in that order.
Okay, we didn't get to actually see what order, but I'm assuming that they're in order in that. Okay.
Yeah, they're in
Yeah,
order in that.
in order in that.
Now, these pages seem to be more aged, as if they are considerably older. The handwriting doesn't match that of Autor, but it is in the same script type. If that makes sense.
Okay,
So
so
an
a
older
different
script.
writer.
Yeah.
Beside them walks the girl who never sleeps, the catalyst of dreams her secret keeps. In waking world she's tied to slumber's chain, yet can't be far, else all will know the pain. Okay, so we know that part. We've experienced that. Her eyes bereft of dreams see through the veil, a world of shadows bound by fate so frail. Unable now to dream, her spirit yearns, her wakeful heart with lonely ache still burns. Okay. In realms where shadows dance and spirits wend, a tale unfolds, a destiny to mend. For those that sleep and wake in dreams, they tread, unaware their souls are not where they're led. Interesting.
And
So, yep.
and then Banneron speaks up and said he reiterated to me how important it is that those be shown to you in that order, but he didn't tell me why. He had
Well,
quite a lot of trouble telling me much of anything. He could not explain himself fully, just to give you that note and with those instructions. And he said that you would be able to lead us home and that this should help you to recover what you've lost. He was a very cryptic gentleman.
Hmm.
I suppose most dragons tend to be.
Dragon?
So it's definitely talking about Drema.
yeah, we already know the first part and we know part of the second.
Is the first part saying if we get too far away from her, then we'll be in pain?
Yes, which was already Naya knows that already. Because she and Drumma talked about it, it's why Drumma didn't just leave.
I don't remember that.
It was brief. I do
And
remember that.
you do have the another poem reference just in case,
Yeah, we do
just
have
to
another
remind
poem
y'all
as well.
that yeah, because the word poem was mentioned there.
Right.
Right, but it came up for why she didn't leave to get help
Hmm.
when we were in Crystal. It was way early on, but
Hmm.
I do believe it was mentioned that she was in pain when she went too far away. Um and then we haven't
But
really talked about her seeing through the veil. We don't really know much about that one. But we know she can't dream.
Okay. Well, in the original prophecy poem, it
Right,
does
which
say
is
beside them
somewhere.
treads the one that never sleeps. So supposedly Droma, but then it continues to describe it as a demon ancient from the abyss deep. Is Drema a demon?
Where is this one? Message from Banrion? That one?
Poem of prophecy.
Poem of Prophecy. Okay.
yeah, looking over them back and forth, uh, to as midnight checks the paper, uh, the the papers that you see lying before you are definitely different from anything that's in the prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
But if
Yeah,
it's
because this one implies that Drema is the demon if we were to
right,
assume it that way.
in shadow
So
scheming
you
binding
now
time.
have two notes.
Uh,
And Banrion's note has some instructions, it appears.
mhm.
I'm assuming the
That
The
clock tower.
seem to relate to the clock tower.
Midnight does not like that note
Which one?
at all. The Banrian's note.
Yeah, because it's like, man, this would have been helpful to have before we had to cross the clock tower. You
I'm
know?
wondering if it's still useful now.
But I think what this is supposed to do is this is supposed to reset time to the point where they can leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we've done this exact sequence with
Yeah.
the clock tower.
It would have been really funny if we had on
I
accident.
mean, we were probably gonna get there if we hadn't had the sound giving us damage.
Honestly,
Tick.
you almost did it.
Yeah, it's close.
You were one step away from actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we have to reset it back to its original state and then do it?
Well, we had reset it back to its original state. That was when we were trapped in it.
No, I meant
Oh,
the fallen down when we
you know what?
originally found it.
I know why it was jumping 4 instead of 1 a
Mm-hmm.
couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Both times it jumped 4, it was at the original spot.
Right.
So it jumped 4 from the original one.
Right.
So yeah, we probably have to put it back to the base one and then do left, right, left. And then push the red button.
Yeah.
I'm just listening as y'all are discussing because this is interesting and it's for discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm still looking at the point of prophecy.
Hmm. And if you need any information or a hint from DM wise, then you can make an intelligence check. But otherwise, I'm free to let you all think as your characters would. Feel free to discuss and put your thoughts out there.
Well, I'm going to look at Midnight for a moment,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to. Do we have a physical representation of the poem of prophecy?
You do. That was the page that you found very early on that had the golden seed with it.
So I'm going to tap the beside them walks the girl who never sleeps, and tap beside them treads the one that never sleeps,
Hmm.
and look at Midnight and just kind of questioningly flick my eyes at Drema.
Yeah, she'll nod
And
and just give a slight shrug.
is questioning, uh, kind of quietly, hoping not to be in earshot of Drema, whether or not any of the detect good and evils or any of that has pinged demonic when we were alone.
So tell me what you did with the tapping and the saying.
I am indicating the two poems, the two parts of the poems.
Hmm.
The part that implies that the girl who never sleeps and the ancient demon may be the same. And I am trying to ask subtly if Midnight or whoever was doing the detect good and evils things
Which was
Yep.
midnight.
um has detected demonic from Drama.
Okay, well, I will say something that happened after you did the tapping.
Mm-hmm.
You tapped the small note that said, "Beside them walks the girl who never sleeps, the
Mm-hmm.
catalyst of dreams her secret keeps." And then you tapped the part of the main prophecy that
Yes.
said, "The one that never sleeps, a
Yes.
demon ancient, and the abyss deep," right?
Yes. Correct.
You tapped that other one, and then the one, and that small sheet of paper actually burst into a bright light as if flames have overtaken it,
Oh.
and it's gone. However, now on the page for the prophecy itself, you see that wording has replaced what was originally
Oh.
there.
So we are actively changing the prophecy. Okay.
Okay, so we need to figure out which part is referenced by her eyes bereft of dreams see through the veil. World of
Did
Shadow.
that replace that entire section of 4? Those 4
It did.
lines? Okay. Okay, so her
It
eyes
bursts
bereft
into a
of
bright light
dreams.
as if it's on fire. You still have the paper and the
Right.
words on it, but after the burst of light, the paper of the prophecy, the main page, now has the new text there instead, and it did replace the entire 4 lines of that.
Okay. Um
The top line in realms where shadows dance
I
or
was just
flicker
gonna say.
low.
yeah, that's well, they were given to us in a specific order, so I think we need to try to do them in order.
Right.
So I
So we
think
did
we
the
need to
first
do the
one.
middle first. Or
Yeah.
now that we've done the first one.
Well, the
So the
middle
middle one
is what he's
talks.
saying is the first.
No, he was saying the third. In realms where shadows dance and spirits
Oh,
win. That's the
you're
third
you're
note.
right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Oh.
That was not the second note.
Well, the second one also says shadows, but you're absolutely right. That would be the third one.
Her eyes bereft of dreams see through the veil. I'm wondering if that is for in the dreams of mortals it does lurk. A web of whisper shadows in the murk. But I'm not sure. But it could also be yet woven by a thread by fate's unseen hand. But I think it's for in the dreams of mortal it
Yeah,
does lurk.
it has to be because they have similar
Because there's flames,
structure.
there's burning, there's similar structure there.
Exactly.
So I'm going to
So
tap her eyes bereft of dreams, see through the veil, and
mhm.
for in the dreams of mortals it does lurk.
Okay, you tap that one, and then you tap the "For in the Dreams of Mortals."
Mm-hmm.
There's a flash of light, and that one too changes on the main page.
and then Midnight will tap the last one and then tap the top of the prophecy in realms where shadows dance and flicker.
And I
So
am
the-
updating the main prophecy one as we go for the text down below. I can't change the image, but I can change the text.
Okay. So I'll reopen it real
So
quick.
you tap the last piece of paper, and then the first paragraph of the prophecy there. There's a bright flash, and that too takes on the new words.
Okay, and we have new words there that are not necessarily the same words as were on the 3 notes. From what I'm seeing here, unless something's weird.
I'm having a hard time reading it in dark mode.
Because
There we
in
go.
dreams they find a respite, fleeting sweet. Like that's not one that we had before at all.
All right, so now it says, in realms where shadows dance and spirits wend, a tale unfolds a destiny to mend.
Yeah.
For those that sleep and wake in dreams, they tread unaware their souls are not where they led. In dreams they find a respite, fleeting sweet. Yet life's
Yeah, the
hard
one
to
that's in
call.
yellow there was there previously.
Okay, it wasn't there in the image for me. I don't know why. Maybe I just misread. Because that's the second paragraph. Okay, that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
The
second
fact that it's
paragraph.
in yellow is throwing me off.
Yeah, it's because it's in a different language. That's in, if I remember right, Sylvan.
Oh, okay.
And then
That's
the
why it's
last
yellow.
two are in Dwarven.
So it's still
Gotcha.
this is still on the paper. It's just in a different language.
Yet
Correct.
life's harsh call they must again meet. They walk the path of fleeting mortal coil, unaware of the looming dark turmoil. Beside them walks the girl who never sleeps, the catalyst of dreams her secret keeps. In waking world she's tied to slumber's chain, yet can't be far, else all will know the pain. Her eyes bereft of dreams see through the veil a world of shadows bound by fate so frail, unable now to dream her spirit yearns. Her wakeful heart with lonely ache still burns. Amongst the okay, so we know the rest.
Yeah, the rest is unchanged. And then this is Sylvan again, I think.
The bottom two are dwarven.
Oh,
Yeah.
bottom two are dwarven, right?
Sylvan.
Okay.
And you all, with your memory, know what it said originally before the
Mhm.
words changed.
Right.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, the first two were originally or switched to Sylvan. The rest were common, and then the bottom two were Dwarven. However,
Interesting.
now that you've done this, it's the same as it was on the paper, which is common.
Mhm.
Oh, it's all in
Okay.
common now?
Except for the bottom two.
The parts that we replaced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the parts we replaced are now in common.
The very first one was originally Sylvan, now it's in common.
So
It
maybe
has
we
been
need to
directly
replace
replaced with the paper.
the other ones that are in different languages too.
I'm
Maybe, but we don't
assuming-
have the other pieces yet.
Right.
Were these all the notes?
Banrian nods her head and says, yes, he just gave me the 3 and said that it would be important for you to send us home.
Okay.
How long have we been here?
You've been here talking and messing with this. Let's say looking back and forth, talking maybe about 30 minutes.
Okay. Also, I assume Drema never pinged as anything on my spell.
No.
Okay.
So Banram looks at you all hopefully, as do all the satyrs and the sprites, as y'all are mulling over this piece of paper and tapping back and forth and whispering and chattering.
Did anything change with the original 3 notes when we did this, or
After
just on the poem?
after they glue bright and a flame appeared around them, no, the notes are still as they are. They
Okay.
have not been changed in any way.
Okay.
Well, I hope you understood more of that than I did. I'm confused.
Yeah, all he said was to give those to you and give the instructions to you after I read them, and to make sure and read it carefully. And I believe he said the order's the key, and I'm supposed to cheer y'all on. She kind of tilts her head in a questioning manner, and to make sure that you don't leave anything behind. Though I'm not sure if that was to you or to us. He wasn't able to say very much. He kept stopping halfway through what he was saying and then suddenly changed to a different subject.
Naya at the words make sure you don't leave anything behind is going to uh grab what remains of the tea set and pack it away.
Okay.
And all of the extra petals and everything. Any tea that remains will get bottled up into vials.
Okay.
And she will hold up Banrion's note with the clock tower instructions. And I'm fairly certain I know what to do with this.
Midnight is going to tap Naya and point up to the orb with the feathers, and then point to Banry and kind of give like a shrug.
Would you happen to know what that is for? And Naya will
Mandarin
point.
turns her head and looks around and says, I'm not sure. It looks like what appeared in the sky before the flash that brought us here, but beyond that, I don't know.
What appeared in the sky before the flash that brought them here?
Yes, there was a bright flash over our forest. I was traveling through a faith forest, and the others all kind of nod their heads too. And after the blindness was over, we found ourselves here, on in this dimension of existence. Not quite sure how we ended up here. It was so sudden and everything else. We've been here for several years now, and we've been mostly living at peace, but then those cursed hags decided to come in and make themselves known and started taking over the forest. And Banron looks considerably upset at remembering the hags and everything, but then has a relieved wave wash over her face as she remembers that they've been taken care of.
Naya will ask Midnight to attempt to put the orb with the storm inside into the sphere.
This one here?
Yeah.
Is it something I can reach with that?
It's
That-
maybe 10 feet up off the wall.
Because it looks like it has a spot for a thing too, right?
It looks very reminiscent of what you saw before, yeah.
Anrion, I have a question.
Yes, little one.
How long ago is many years?
The 8, I think.
Okay.
Naya will direct the satyrs
Mm-hmm.
to form a human ladder to help Midnight reach the sphere.
They all look at each other questioningly at that direction, and then all eyes turn to Banderon, and Banderon says, "Yes, yes, help! They're here to send us home." And then they all make a satyr humanoid ladder here to assist you in reaching up the wall.
All right, I'll climb the satyrs and
Roughly 10. A little less than 10, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So probably not the same event then.
So you climb the wall.
I place the stormy orb in.
You press the sphere full of storms into the little sphere inset in the wall, and you feel and hear an audible click vibrate through it.
Mm.
Okay.
I need you to please make a dex or an acrobatics check, please.
Naya would be standing below the ladder to hopefully reach out and catch if necessary.
16.
Okay. It starts to slide and roll out of the wall, but Midnight is able to reach out and grab it before it leaves the receptacle fully. And now, on the back of this stormy orb, you see what appears to be several sheets of metal that are sticking outward from it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that suspicion worked out.
I put the orb back in my bag, and then I take
So,
my other orb out without the storm clouds and stick it in.
yep.
Okay, you do so. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
Okay. Put it back in my bag. Just
Okay.
checking.
Yep. I was figuring that one of them needed a charge. So I was hoping that would either interact with the lines or the lines would interact with it. So. Okay.
Question, Firedale. Would I have had
Uh-huh.
to stop my ritual casting to do that?
The climbing up, the moving, I'll say no because you had so much assistance from everything.
Okay.
However, your ladder does start to shake, and
I
you
climb
manage to
down.
clamber down right before the third one down kind of bends his knee wrong and the ladder collapses.
Ugh.
Okay.
Uh,
Naya
midnight,
will offer a
midnight gives a
healing
little.
word to the one that fell and any above him. Any that
Now,
looks like they may have been injured by that.
Midnight gives a little curtsy.
a few scrapes and brushes of cloth, but none of them seem heavily injured.
Okay.
Banneran looks at you hopefully and says, "Did it help any? What happened?"
I think it will help, yes.
I hold it out to him.
We came across a similar receptacle in the
Her.
clock tower on the way here. Her, yeah,
Her.
Banriana's a she.
Yes.
Um,
My bad.
yes. We came across a
Luckily, I
similar
picked it up, so-
receptacle in the clock tower on the way here, and the clock tower seemed sensitive to shifts in time.
Where did we get this orb? With the with the clouds.
It, it was in the merchant's
The merchant's caravan.
stuff in that
Left by, I'm
chest.
assuming, Autor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
where strangely enough, the exact armor and weapons that you needed to have fully kitted yourselves out was exactly there.
I feel if we were delivered something that we needed and we hadn't found for it yet, it may have had a chance at being our key.
I'm going to reach into my bag and I'm going to pull out the golden seed
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and hold it up to Banrian, like
Uh-huh.
questioningly.
Banneran
you-
tilts her head
yeah.
curiously back at it and says, "What should I do with this child?"
Naya will vocalize, do you perhaps recognize what this is?
She shakes her head and says, "No, not at all."
Okay.
Shrug my shoulders and put it back in my bag.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
So
I'm starting to wonder now. I was given a runic antler with druidcraft. Am I supposed to be trying to grow the seed?
It's very possible, but we don't know where we're supposed to grow it, if anything, yet.
Yeah, that's the question is when do we plant it? Like if we planted it right now, would that be bad or good?
Right, because you also were given a mold earth rune on there as well.
Yep.
You have druidcraft and you have mold earth.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, you never know what's going to be useful at some point.
Right. It may not be necessary to use for this in particular, but we don't know.
Everyone's still looking at you expectantly.
All right.
How long has it been now since I started casting?
After that and the further discussion, let's say an hour's passed.
Okay.
Does
Princess
Banrion
shows up.
know? Yay, Princess is back. Does Banrion know where they entered this forest?
Do you? I'm sure y'all passed it. I know the fairies had to give you the directions. Do you remember the four-way split leading
Mhm.
to the Druid's Grove and this way?
Where
That's where the
Grandfather Oak
majority of us
attacked
found
us?
Yes. I hope he's doing well
He is now.
now. She
Well,
says questioningly.
he was kind of under the hag's control for a bit, and kind of
Oh
attacked
no.
us when we got in.
Oh
We've
no.
made our amends. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
She looked alarmed there for a moment.
Naya's gonna take a moment to mourn her blanket once again.
Right then. Oh, my aching head! What was that?
Hi, Princess. Welcome back.
Hello there.
Maybe you should not attempt to fly in clockwork going forward.
Yeah, you bird brain.
Well, that didn't hurt too much. It was the loud gong that.
Oh yeah, Bannerman speaks up at that statement and says, "Yes, what was that? We heard
That
the
was
sound of a large bell in the distance."
we restored the clock tower earlier
You
briefly.
did?
We did.
Yeah, there's some weird buttons in the bottom of it that kind of rewind time to where the clock tower is fixed, and then
Is that how we're
It-
supposed to get home?
I
We're supposed
believe
to
so.
rewind
The
time?
other receptacle is also in that clock tower. I believe it
What?
may be significant.
but just so you're aware, don't be inside it when it goes off, because it killed me.
Oh no, you poor bird.
Yeah, bird. Sure. He just hovers back over to Midnight's shoulder.
Because I'm wondering if they need to be in the clearing where they left when we restore the clock tower. Like, I'm wondering if there was a change in the clearing when we restored the clock tower.
Yeah,
Or
at
if
this
it's...
point, having talked and discussed this and seen this go on, y'all have quite a crowd of sprites and satyrs down at the base of this, and the unicorn looking, and occasionally through some of the trees you even see a dryad or two peek their head out and looking at you all and quite intent on this entire conversation. Y'all have become the center of attention. I am sure Phelan would probably be kind of making herself less the center of attention, kind of over to the side at this point, and but
Trying to hide
everyone
her
definitely
face.
seems quite interested in everything you all have to say.
Um, yeah, basically as if we're telling them a story.
Or listening to us try to work out the puzzle.
Yeah.
They need to
Well-
give us a friendly push before we send them home, so I'm trying to figure out when that has to happen.
Well, push is gonna be us pushing the red button.
Right, however, I think the note as it stands without the blue text is also relevant.
Fair.
So I'm reading the actual paragraphs again, where it says inform them of the right path when they leave the forest, so we may need to get the right path.
Now, again, I have trouble as a DM because I don't know what you're saying out loud and what you're not. So right now,
As
I'm assuming
opposed
y'all are
to the
talking out
wrong
of character.
path.
That's
So
what I'm wondering,
if
yeah.
you say anything out loud in character, like reading the note, please let me know, because people can respond to that.
Yeah, so Naya will, upon reviewing the text again for the clock hand instructions, will state out loud to Banrion, part of this note requests that please inform them of the right path when they leave the forest.
Oh, when you leave, whenever you make it back to the path, please turn left, and that should lead out. Back to town would be to the right, and towards the grove would be straight through.
Okay, so
left is
basically,
out.
go back out the way we came.
Well, not
No.
southwest, but
Or
northeast.
to the town.
Yeah. Southwest is where y'all came from back at that
Right.
split in
Okay.
the math.
I was just saying, when we're entering the clearing from here, we'd be coming from the
You
north,
turn
so the
left.
left would have been.
North.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all will
Okay.
be coming from northwest, so you'll want to go northeast.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Please make sure they haven't left anything behind.
He said that I should give you all access to anything you may find in the temple. We've put some of the stuff off to the side. There was quite a nice bow that Alexander wanted to take, but we wanted to make sure
Phelan
that
is probably beelining for some stuff, as is Colfax.
Yep. Colfax hears Bo and is like, "Oh,
Yeah,
Bo."
Phelan, as soon as they heard stuff set off to the side, is probably off and looking.
Princess will slowly walk, or Midnight and Princess will slowly walk over as well.
I will at least give Banrion the courtesy of letting them finish their statement before I also go and look.
So yeah, there's a bow that's over there, and Benron kind of points with her horn off to the west, where Colfax, I'm sure, will find and be able to find a rather nice bow. And there's a rod that's over that way, and it seems to be a small, plain looking rod, and
Midnight will pick
Midnight
that
would
up.
probably be interested in that.
Yep.
And there's a cloak that seems kind of blurry at the edges that
Cloak of
was also
Billowine?
found.
Ooh.
No pretty gilded flowers.
That was in a thingy. Hold on.
Is that
That is
something I requested
the
too?
cloak of displacement is the Phelan item.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I also requested that. So, but Phelan can get that. since
It's
I
marked
think a lot.
Phelan for this one because you had the rod here,
Yeah, correct.
and
Yeah.
Colfax gets the bow. And Kalina and I already have our named items there.
And he said that should you be able to send us home, that I should definitely offer our assistance should you ever need us, and give you the means to call us forth
I got that.
if you so need. But I want to make sure first that everyone is safe, and that you can actually help us. And he said that would be the push to see you through.
Okay.
Firebutt.
Yes.
No pretty gilded flowers.
Translate what I just said again in your head.
My brain is broken right now, so help.
We will have a means to summon them later. That will be given to us once we've proven that we can do what
Oh,
we say we're
because
gonna
it's
do.
Summon Celestial, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, my
I got you,
brain.
Nene. I got you.
To be fair, I didn't get to sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning because Storm was being super whiny. I need attention.
Well, it is also a little bit late, but we did start a little bit late too.
Yeah, I got you, Nene. All right.
Yeah, translation, you might be able to get it as long as everything works correctly.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Are there any other odds and ends that we need to collect in here other than those named items?
Apparently my brain.
There's no, we've mostly eaten all of the rations that were available. I don't
Okay.
think anything else really stands out.
Any pretty flowers?
I believe the dryad should have you covered there. Again, we were told to help encourage you
No,
and
that
give you that
was
push to definitely help us out.
that was
The
a
flowers we already have.
That was a DM
Yeah.
question, not to
Oh.
Banrion. Are there
You
any
were
pretty
looking for
flowers?
pretty flowers. Yeah.
Oh, actual flowers.
Yeah.
Yes.
None here. I mean, you see several vines and vine flowers, some poison ivy, some poison oak.
So nothing
Nothing
super
really stands
interesting.
out here.
Okay.
I mean, this is a pretty swampy area, so there aren't going to be any bright, colorful flowers.
Naya will look for anything mundane that can be thrown into the haversack, like if there are particularly small pots, things like that are intact.
You do see like 2 or 3 good pots. All of them have that motif imagery on it of this very basic type of people, like the hunting and the fishing and praying, and all of them have this lines going through it and on it, much like the wall here and the walls around town, and even the floor you saw before.
Naya will be very hesitant of taking anything with the lines right,
Just about everything here has that on it.
and will not take those.
Okay.
Okay. Um,
And from up towards the bottom, a druid steps and looks at Banrion expectantly. I'm not going to put him on the map just
Okay.
because it would take a moment.
I just went
And
scrolling looking.
So did I.
and Banrion says, "Yes, it seems that they're here to help." And the druid steps out, and as midnight seems to be the closest, she holds forth her hand, and within it appears to be a golden colored rose
Well, there you go.
that seems to be metallic and shiny, and says, "This is should you ever need our aid, so that you can temporarily call forth if you need us." And
I'm sorry.
Banderon smiles and nods her head.
Who just gave this to me?
A
A
druid.
dryad.
A
A
dryad.
dryad?
I said druid, didn't I?
You said druid. You meant a dryad. A
Yeah, I meant
dryad
a
came to
dryad.
find us.
Yes.
Would
Okay,
I
was reading a
recognize-
description and was not listening until you said my name.
Right, and that should be passed to Kalina some kind of way.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yes,
would I
well.
recognize it?
I'll give it to Kalina.
For you, Kalina, it would be a gilded flower.
I think I know what this is for. I'll nod and be like, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you have the means to summon aid if given that.
Oh, I just said thank you to Faye.
We're here to help them. I think that might eclipse any debt you've incurred from that in a moment. I think we might be okay.
But then again, they were told to give it to us, so
Right.
Yeah.
They're following orders. Naya will turn around and look at the group and kind of clap her hands together and be like, okay, are we ready to set off?
are we doing it tonight? Or should we wait
It's
till
definitely getting
daybreak?
dark at this point. I mean, everyone is still looking at you rather expectantly. All eyes are on you.
Would you be opposed to perhaps waiting until morning to attempt this? But I'm fairly certain we know what to do.
Y'all have a round in stereo, full surround sound. Oh,
Yeah, I know. I was gonna try to do it tonight, but nobody wants to.
Well, we have all our spell slots, so
Yeah, I mean, we're
Yeah.
good. It's just
I-
traversing the forest at night. I
Ba-
think we're good.
I
Ba-
think we can go.
Banrion says, "Quiet, quiet. They're here to help. Don't rush. As long as we can make it home." And
I mean, I'm
everyone
willing
kind
to
of
attempt
mulls
it
about.
tonight. I have no issue.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm raring to go.
Everyone seems to be quite happy again, and there's whispers and a few quiet cheers of "Yay!" in the distance, and things and a few little claps and arms being held up and people hugging and a few sprites having tears streaming down their face.
Also, if there is a light show, imagine how much more impressive it'll be at night.
How dark is it right now?
It's going on maybe 6 or 7, so it's pretty dark because it's again in the fall, so the night comes a little bit earlier, and so it's dark-ish. You can still see by light.
Not enough for dark vision time yet.
No, we would have lights.
Okay.
We would be using lanterns.
Oh, I have dark vision spell.
So
Yeah, so you can still see by the starlight if you need, and it's still bright enough to see. It's just the sun has definitely gone over the edge. The sky is very dark red hued, going to that brown to black state at this point.
yeah, my intent with the tea was that if it did give us a long rest, that we would be able to tackle this immediately.
Yep. That did give
So
you a long rest.
Yep.
yep.
I am up for it.
All right, well let's be off.
Okay, so you all march back down to from where you are back to the clock tower. I'm not going to switch maps since we just know we're looking. Unless y'all want me to. Do you want me to switch the map?
I mean, if you're not going to give us trouble crossing the clock tower in the night, I think we're good.
Well, luckily y'all have managed to make it sturdy enough that there's no checks necessary. You took it back enough to where that's not
But what about the weight
needed.
of a giant unicorn?
Well, I think we've learned to go across only a few people at a time. I think we figured that out.
Okay.
And the unicorn can actually teleport across.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that I was
It's the
meaning
rest-
to say that Banrion was heavy, but
It's the rest of us that
large
can't
creature,
quite
yeah.
because we don't have the range.
Mm.
yes.
Because the chasm was 35 feet across and the teleports are 30 for
30.
us.
Yep.
Yep, and Banneron can actually teleport, which is anywhere you can see.
Yep.
Itself and up to 3 creatures.
Mm.
So Banneron teleports across, and everyone seems quite perturbed. The ones that can't teleport but do walk, like the satyrs and the dryads and things like that, at this floating clock tower. But after enough nudging and y'all showing that it's safe and everything, they all make it across, carefully.
Yeah, and
Ones
anyone
and
who can't see
twos.
in the dark would probably be led with a lantern.
And so they make it across the clock tower. Of course, the sprites fly. A few dryads do some tree shifting. Most of them find their way back to the center where Grandfather Oak stands at the ready and greets everyone, and he looks kind of saddened himself and kind of you know disheveled as if he's been caught in a lie and everything else. He looks like he's ashamed of something, but Banneron just gives him a nod and everything else, and they stop there at the center and look up and say, "Well, this is where I came." And Banneron says, "Okay, everybody, go where you came from." And the people start to disperse and everything else. And pretty soon you have a unicorn that's standing in the middle of the road, and everything else then
I have a
go ahead.
question. Do we have to grab the dryads from the trees?
That's where their grove was, so
Okay.
it's up
probably
to
not.
you. But general assumption as a character would be if that's their home, that's probably where they were.
That's where
Okay.
they appeared.
Okay.
Yeah, their entire grove moved with them.
Yep. So
Okay.
way in the distance where y'all can't see since you made it to the clock tower, and everyone has gone as far as you can tell where they should be or where y'all told them to be.
All right. So Midnight will walk in there with a grumpy look on her face.
Do you want
Princess-
to do it? Do you have a way to get out if you end up trapped inside the completed clock tower?
Um.
Otherwise, one of us that can Misty Step or Face Step may want to do it.
That's fair. I know
Just because we
Princess
can
is
get
gonna
out.
be nowhere near that clock tower.
Of course. Yeah, but I figure any of us that can teleport would probably be a better choice to do it.
I think
So
I'm a
that we can
little
get ourselves
afraid.
out.
I think
Or
I'm a,
Colfax, because Colfax please.
I think
That's fair.
Kalina's a little afraid of that clock tower taking so much damage.
Naya got a little
Sure,
bit hurt in
well,
that, but not that bad.
It
So
not
Naya would probably be willing to give it a shot again,
it
but
knocked
Colfax
me
probably might as well.
it knocked me down to almost half.
I only took 4 damage that entire time, so Naya was fine.
And Colfax will happily volunteer.
Yeah.
Colfax will do it, yeah. So I give him the orb.
Okay. You show Colfax where to put it. And now he asks, okay, so now what do I do?
Okay, so
Well,
Naya will direct him based on the blue text.
Well,
So
before the blue text, though, you
Okay.
have to reset it back to the center, right? I
Was it
assume?
at the absolute center when you found it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Then probably.
I don't know if we want to
So I would probably
put
not
it to the
place.
center, then activate it, or just
I don't
put it
think
to
we would
center,
put the orb in
move your
until
hand.
it's centered.
Correct. The question is, do we move it back to the center, then just take our hand off and then put it back on to reinitiate, or do we put it back to the center, hit the button, and then take our hand off and reinitiate?
Do we want me in there with Colfax?
Probably
At
not,
least you are a misty step out.
I am a Misty Step out, and if he gets stuck, I can Misty Step him out, and then myself.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
I have enough uses to do both of us. So I will go with him.
Thank you, thank you.
Midnight is going to snap her fingers, and Princess is going to disappear.
Okay.
Until this
Okay.
is all done.
Because I don't want any of us to be split up in case something happens. So, but yeah, we can go ahead and reset it to center.
Okay. So you put it to the center with the hand on the thing. Colfax messes with it, pushes it to the right a time, another one, then another one, so that it's 3, which makes it back to the center.
Mm-hmm.
And then looks around and says, everyone ready?
Yep.
As
So
ready as
are
we're
we
gonna
initiating
be.
it at center now?
Yes, that's what
Okay.
he's doing. You told him to put it
He's
in the center.
resetting it to center, and then we're gonna do the actual.
Okay. I
So
wasn't sure
he
if we were.
pushes the big red button after stealing himself, planting his legs firmly on the ground. The
I will
ground shakes, and you all
place my
see
hand
the
on his shoulder and
towers
give him guidance. Yep.
fall back down to the ground, and a few pieces fall off into the ravine below. As cracks appear and form, and it ages back to where it was when you first got here.
Right. Okay, and then we will push the orb into the receptacle,
You push the orb into the receptacle.
and then we're going to do the process again. We're going to do it in the orb affected by the note.
You hear a buzz, and then a
So-
bright light shoots into the air from the 5 circular
Basins.
basins that you messed with before.
Yep, and I'm going
As
to
you
read
plug
out.
this in, that's what
Yep.
you see.
Okay, so I'm going to read out for Colfax first. Hand.
Okay,
So
he
he puts his
places
hand
his
on it.
hand on the hand thing.
Second, left.
Okay, he pushes the left button. Both you and Colfax can see when he does that, the dial in the middle that's been showing y'all where you have it
Mm-hmm.
lights up, and you see hundreds of little marks along the sides that go all the way around the circle, and it moves 1 tick to the left.
Okay. Third, right.
He pushes the arrow once to the right, and it moves 1 tick back to the center.
Fourth, left.
He pushes it 1 tick to the left, and it goes just one of those little ticks back to the left.
Fifth, push. Push
And
the red button.
he pushes the big red button, and you see the cracks in the tower slowly ease up just a little bit as it unages slightly, and nothing else happens.
Okay.
He looks around expectantly. Crickets
right.
chirp, 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 chirp.
What happens if he removes his hand?
He takes his hand off, and all the buttons go out, but there's still these bright lights shooting from these basins.
I
Straight
wonder
up
if
into
we
the
did
air.
that right or if the tower had to be fixed.
It's very possible. Very possible we needed to start from the beginning.
We're not
And
able
not
to see
center.
Banrion anymore, are we?
No, Banneron's way out to the southeast, down waiting at the crossroads where you told them to be. You can't see anyone here except you all.
I will cast Sending and attempt
Uh-huh.
to reach Banrion.
Okay, what will you say?
I'm like, okay, we did the first step. Are you back, or is there more that we need to do now?
Banneron says, I'm still here? Do you mean you're done?
My assumption is no.
We're still here.
Don't believe we are finished yet, but we have a light show happening. I believe we are on the right track. We will continue. Making sure you're good.
Okay.
All right.
And now what?
Midnight is next to one of the receptacles.
Uh-huh.
Can she put her hand in the light?
You can. It feels very warm, almost tingly, as if, like we would say, like you have a static charge. It doesn't hurt. Your hand kind of blocks the light a little bit, but it's definitely bright enough that it doesn't make much of a difference of the light going into the air.
Can this this basin or whatever spin at all?
You can attempt it.
Yeah, I'd like to attempt it.
Okay. Give me a strength check, please.
Strength check. Okay. That's gonna be horrible.
How are you attempting to spin it? Like, what are you attempting to do by spinning it?
See if it's manipulatable.
Okay.
So just going to try and spin it any which way, just see if you can.
Yep.
You try with all your might, but it definitely seems like it's stuck in the position it's in.
Okay, and I rolled an 18, so that actually wasn't bad.
Does something have to go in the basins?
Can I touch the crystal?
You can. It feels very hot to the touch, as if it's definitely the source of the light that's coming out.
Those were the two basins that they're near, the ones that I had poured liquid into. Is the liquid still there?
The liquid has definitely evaporated by this point.
Okay.
Okay.
And even the others that had, where you had moved the dirt and everything, I mean, they're all just as bright as these ones are.
We can try to fix the clock tower.
Okay. Might as well attempt to reset the clock tower with the orb in. No reason not to, I suppose.
Well, okay, first take the orb out.
Are you sure?
See if anything happens when you take it out.
Well, because I think if we're reversing the clock, it might be best to do it while the lights are active, and the lights won't be active if we
Okay.
take the orb out.
Fair. Okay.
That's my only thought. Except I'm kind of curious as to why the steps we took didn't do anything right now.
Does Colfax still have his hand on it?
No, he took his hand off.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
okay.
told to take his hand off, so he did.
Okay.
Yeah, the lights on the inside are no longer there. The handprint, the left and right, and the dial have gone dim, but y'all still have these bright lights coming up from the basins.
Right, the basins are still active. And it doesn't say anything about doing it twice. Now, the basins, did they light up as soon as we put the orb in the receptacle?
They did.
Okay. So
Even
they've been
before
active
the
the
hand was
entire time.
placed. Yes.
So they were active before we did the steps. Huh. I'm not sure. What do y'all think?
Let's try.
Is there any bit
Resetting
of
it to-
information that y'all may have missed or
I'm
thought might
looking.
not be important or was told was important?
The order is the key, and they should alter the poem I left to reveal the truth as it goes.
So
Why
first-
is altar spelled like an altar?
Yeah, I did notice that.
We did put the orb in the receptacle at the altar. So I thought we had done that, but
You did.
I thought that was the significance of the altar, but
First hand, second left.
third right, fourth
right,
left,
left.
fifth push, lastly. Let them know the order is the key. They should alter the poem I left to reveal the truth as it goes. There's a left in there, but it's not indicated. It's not colored or bolded or anything.
Yeah, it was definitely not glowing. Again, you all see these specific ones that are capitalized there in
Right.
blue as glowing blue.
Yeah, because lastly
your eyes.
and left are not glowing, so those shouldn't be part of this.
Yep. Lastly, even though it's capitalized in the page, it is definitely not glowing.
I mean, they were supposed to give us a friendly push before they sent me home, but did they do that or no?
They gave you an incentive to do so.
So that would have been the push. Hmm.
If you're stuck, I'm free to take intelligence checks if anybody wants to push,
I am
or
stuck.
maybe somebody can ask a question of a certain thing.
Oh yeah, I'll look at my my pendant and be like, what are we missing here? Why isn't it working?
I'm gonna bamf Princess back out, and I'm gonna have Princess fly over and look at the face of the clock.
If the order matters, why does it matter?
If the order matters, why does it matter?
The face of the clock has fixed itself because y'all took it back slightly.
Yeah. Matters, why does it matter? That's a little too
Order
cryptic.
is the key.
That's a little too cryptic. Doesn't help.
I apologize. I don't want to give things away. I can if everybody's just completely stuck and we want to move things on.
Reset it back to the beginning and take the orb out.
Well, because the orb was never actually part of the thing.
Right.
Okay, so let's remove the orb.
Okay. The lights go out. The dial goes back down to where it just has 16, 18 lines on it. And it's currently one click to the left.
Okay.
I'm gonna try an intelligence roll, but I'm a dumb bunny.
Okay.
Click it back to the right and move it back to reset.
Oh. Apparently I'm not a dumb bunny.
Well, you have the poem. What was the each of the paragraphs. If the order matters, maybe it has something to do with the order of the paragraphs.
The note or the other piece of paper?
The poem that you made, that you fixed.
The Point of Prophecy.
Behind.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that one at all.
In.
There's a
Kalina.
third unseen yet true.
Kalina speaks up and says, maybe it's not what's said that matters, just the order or the number of them.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, not the order.
Let's see. Here's
The
one.
number of them.
I am lost.
Hold on.
I'm trying to be as cryptic as I can as the DM. I'm sorry.
The first
With
time
a
a
nat
number
20?
is mentioned. Trying to see if numbers are mentioned in the actual prophecy of the parts we changed. The parts we the old parts there was a 1 because the demon was 1 demon. But in the corrected, there's a third unseen yet true.
Lead.
Heroes rise, the beacon's light they bear. Which that may have been the beacon, but
Maybe I've made it too cryptic.
I think you probably
I think
have.
you have.
The order of the paragraphs. What was the first paragraph you fixed?
Beside them walks the girl. Oh wait, what? I think I might.
Yeah, that was the one with the
understand.
one that never sleeps.
1, 2,
And
3.
Mm-hmm. And then 4 in the Dream
Alright.
of Mortals. So 1, 4.
4. 3, 4, 1. So third step is right. Fourth step is left. First step is hand.
you're
Well, I
overthinking.
think you have to put your hand on first, no matter what, because that
Yeah.
activates it. So then,
Think
Lastly,
combination
it
lock.
looks like we do them in the order note, but then we also have to do additional.
I think I understand.
Okay.
I think I understand.
so wisdom us,
We
please.
place our hand. We do it left 3, right 4, left 1, and then push.
Okay, why the certain numbers?
Third paragraph, fourth paragraph, first paragraph.
Okay.
So left 3, right 4, left 1.
Okay.
Almost like a combination lock.
I think
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
Princess comes over and says to both Colfax and Naya to try it that way.
Okay, you
Okay.
said what?
I know it sounds crazy.
3
but I
left,
think we should
4
try this.
right. And then 1 left.
Left 3, right 4, left 1.
Yeah. Okay. So what I just said. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll go ahead and
Now, do
Colfax
we
looks
have to
up and says,
reset it
"Do we
again?"
reset it?
Yeah, reset.
I'd like to try it without resetting it first, personally, but either way,
Well, what if that orb has a certain amount of charges?
then we go charge it again. But yeah.
Well, either way, I'm gonna disappear for a bit. And
Yeah.
he disappears.
I mean, the beacons are lit already, right?
I thought you pulled it out.
Or are they no longer lit? Yeah.
The
That's right.
beacons are no longer lit
Okay.
when you pull the thing out.
Okay.
and the gauge returns back to very few tick marks.
Okay.
So I think reset it back to original.
Well, wouldn't we want to reset it without the orb
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
to not waste the charge?
Reset it and then attempt.
Okay.
Colfax does it, as was done before. A few cracks appear back in the clock tower. Everyone's ready at this point to brace themselves for any shaking that might happen. So it is now reset and pointing straight up and down.
All right. Go ahead, and I will relay the order again that Princess has said to do.
Okay, you going to put the orb
We will
in?
put the orb back in, and then we
Okay.
will follow
There's a
those
charge up
instructions.
sound as you put the orb in, and lights shoot into the sky from the basins. Kofax looks around and says, okay.
Mhm.
Now what?
3 left, 4 right, 1 left. Yes, that was what was
Yes.
said.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so he puts his hand back on the thing, and the buttons light up. And he says, okay. So 3 left, 1. And the little tick mark moves 1 to the left. 2, and it moves to the second to the left. 3, and it moves to the third to the left. And then he says, 4 right, 4 right.
Mhm.
So he ticks it, the right arrow to the right, and it ticks back up to like -2, the -1, then 0, and it moves to 1, so to the right of the middle tick by 1. And then he says, left 1,
Yeah.
and then he moves it left 1, and it's
That's back
pointing
to
straight
center.
up again.
Dead center. Yep.
And he says, now push.
Yep.
Okay. He pushes. There's a bright flash of light. Everything goes white. You can't see anything. Your ears ring. You can't hear anything. It's almost ringing so much it's like the sound of silence where you hear nothing, so your brain makes you think something
Yep.
is there. And the light disappears, and you find yourselves in the middle of a forest. There is no clock tower.
The orb
There's
is gone.
no city there. There's no paths. The orb is gone. The base is gone. But at your feet, you see what appears to be a gold reliquary of some type that is half buried in the ground.
Naya will pick it up with the intent of sharing it with the group when we reunite,
there a
unless we're
chasm
all
anymore?
together.
No, there is no chasm. There's no sign of a town.
Okay.
There's no sign of anything. You find yourselves in quite a regular forest.
Princess pops
A
back out.
few rather surprised bunnies that Colfax probably points out. None of them have any silver eyes. The bugs and the birds stop chirping as you look around, and as far as you can tell, you are in a perfectly regular, perfectly ordinary, perfectly mundane forest.
Naya will spend another 3rd level.
Mm-hmm.
So no more 3rd levels today. This is it. Um, and we'll try to cast another sending to Banrion.
Give me just a moment.
There's the description for you. It can work across planes. It's just a lower chance.
Okay, I need you to roll a d100 for me, please.
20.
Cool.
I guess is no.
There is a response, and it's
Yeah.
just a very elated, we're home.
Okay.
You'd have to roll a 5 or less for it not to work.
Yeah, it's a 5% chance for it to fail.
And so, what's the message that you sent?
The message I send is that was quite a light show. Am I to take it that you are safely home now?
And Banneron replies, we're home. Thank you very much. Call us if you ever need.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Naya
assume
cannot
I no longer
respond. She
have
has
this
no.
orb of clouds.
Well, the
Sorry.
clock tower's gone, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah, it said the orb was gone.
Yep, the orb is gone as well.
That
So
was its
you can
purpose.
you can officially remove the storm cloud focus orb from your inventory.
Thankfully, we have other such items that we can use as a focus.
Okay.
They're
And
just less
that's
cool.
and
Yep.
that's where we will end it.
Okay.
Thank you all again for this one that went a little bit over. I hope everybody still had fun, and I hope it was enjoyable, entertaining, and quite unique.
My
So,
brain is confused by the puzzles.
Yeah, I feel like this went too late at night for my brain to
I
comprehend at
apologize.
the end there.
Uh-huh.
So take care, everyone, and I hope everybody will stop by next time for when we once again get together for a session of In the Demon's Grasp.
Yes.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.